everybody, and welcome back. Not much time between these two sets, but that's what we're here for. It's a wonderful Monday night here. I am still here on the desk. It is Freaky G, and I am now joined with none other than Daddy Neptune. Neptune, how are you doing, man?
I am tired.
Long set. Now you're here, and we gotta. I would have to say at least a 2 hour game to go through, me and you together. But I wouldn't have it any other way, to be honest. I mean, more smite for me and more smite for everybody. And we got a Walker's Division game going on here. It's going to be Vibe Tribe versus the Mystic Sea Serpents. And man, you know, Kane's Division. It's fun to watch. You get to see some of the bad boys out there running around, and then you get to go to Walker's and get to see all the really cool stuff that they get to pull out. And with that being said, what kind of things should we expect, Neptune?
Out of what are we talking about? Out of Walker players or just out of picks and bans?
Just in general, the Walker and out of Walker Division.
I've seen a lot of people locking in Danza, Hachi. Well, Hachi, I despise playing into Hachis. Push forward, leave the lane. I'll see you next week. But honestly, dual lane, you're seeing a lot of like those really safe hunters, those more aggressive guardians. And then, on the flip side, you're seeing more of those peel heavy guardians again, which, Gab. God, that God is annoying. Moving on past that, of Geb Shield existing to ruin my life. And then coming out of the mid, some people have been locking stuff like Marticarus, which kind of, it's just your physical Freya. And
No, I mean, yeah, you're kind of hitting the nail on the head. We've been seeing quite a bit of that. Lots of talks in not just Walker Division, but in just about everywhere. These ADC mids, really popular right now. Guardian mids also making their way out of the woodworks here lately. It seems to be a very Guardian dominated meta right now. Would you agree?
yeah, tank stats bloated.
Absolutely. And as we finally start going through this pick and ban phase, first thing off the menu is Athena. And I mean, there's not really a lot we need to say about this one. The god got a decent buff a while back, and since then she has been running rampant in the conquest game mode for quite a while now. And I mean, is there anything else that you can point out about this god that maybe I didn't quite get?
You're seeing a resurgent of Amana solo and of Amana plus an Athena. Speaking of Amana, that could not have been more poetic timing. Those two put together, you're just not killing that baby.
Absolutely, and Baki also taken off the selection screen. Not an uncommon thing since he's been put into play here in Frank's retirement home or in general. And honestly, that's something I think that we should really touch on. We see him getting banned all the time. Can you really kind of stress why we're seeing Baki banned so much?
Bake is one of the most annoying, bloated gods to play against. You have the fact that he's got a damage reduction in his kit. His ult is just a giant field of get wrecked. You're not doing anything. And when you want to commit to killing this man, you have to commit all 5 members. So it's just easier to ban him than to play against him at this point. And that's pretty much how it goes.
Fair enough, and I can't argue with that, especially when a god who is meant to be tanky develops his damage from tank stats. So really kind of just hit all the bad parts there. And right off the rip, we finally go into pick phase, and the first pick overall is that Hachi you were talking about. Not really going to ask you to go over that one again. That would be a bit redundant, but this chalk pick in response is somewhat interesting to me. I'd like you to talk to me a little bit about that and why it got picked so high in the pick order.
I used to, when I was playing solo for a bit of my Smite debut career, I locked Chalk a lot because Chalk, you just go a very funny build of axe, and all of a sudden you throw an axe at someone and their HP's gone for no reason, and you have the 2, which gives him prots, and then a big disruptive ult. So he's kind of like that combination with a Thanatos who's heavy dive. it's gonna be a lot for this Yemo to peel Chalk Thana off her backline. The saving grace, Hachi.
Persephone.
Absolutely. And as we go through this, the pick phase taking much shorter amount of time than the ban phase. These teams have a pretty good idea of what they want to play, but it seems they're not sure on what to get rid of. And we can't go through a first round pick phase without talking about this particular pick, and it's obviously the Ao Kwang, one of the most sought after gods in all the right situations, probably only picked in this situation in response to an execute on the enemy team being on the field. But what can you tell me in short detail about this pick?
Ao Kwang is, you'll see him in higher levels of play, lower levels of play, less so. But just kind of like a really feast or famine god. So if you're ahead, an enemy Ao Kwang just feels oppressive. If he's
Mm-hmm.
behind, he kind of feels like just another creep in the minion wave.
uh,
So
that's that. I did ask for a short description, and I think that was a very short description and a very well put one as well. As we get through the second ban phase now, and not having a solo laner, Vibe Tribe, not having a solo laner, I should say, loses their chance on getting the Bologna here. So, do you think Bologna in tandem with the Alquang would have made a big difference here? Is this ban really worth it at this point, or is Bologna just oppressive enough on her own, especially into a chalk, to be worth the ban?
Bologna by herself right now is just, you'll watch her actually just 1v5 a team and get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, I'd rather not play against that and combo that with a god who can feast or famine. You're kind of like, oh, I don't want that on my backline. Um,
Mm-hmm.
On
that
her.
being said, you'll notice in the picks and bans that there's a lot of AA solos banned.
There are. It's a very heavy number of them. I mean, we've got the Baki gone, Bologna gone, Osiris gone. I think that's probably the top three right now. Vomit also gone. Top four. That's the top four right there. I don't think there's any more AA solo options on the table. On her gets locked in for the Mystic Sea Serpents. We don't really need to talk about him too much. We've seen him quite a bit lately, and he's kind of just risen back into, I would consider, what I would call the second slot ADC. You can't get number one, well, then you get second best, and that's on her. And he's not second best by a long amount by any means. He definitely competes against the Hachi.
Yeah, Hachi kind of that more late game on her, you always see an on her just dominating the early, and that's kind of just what you want to do. And they're going to solidify that early with a Charon lock. So it's going to be a lot of lane pressure coming out versus, well, not surprising, it's a Yemo Kepri. So who's going solo?
Sorry, and I completely agree with that. And as we finally get through this pick phase, we get our comps rounded out, and we're starting to see the big reason I think why this Alquan got picked, and that's because we're getting a Martikaros mid from Vibe Tribe here. You were talking about it a little bit as something to expect, and I'm kind of curious as to why that is.
It's very much like, well, you've probably played against Freya's where it's like, she feels almost impossible to dive at points where, she just pushes forward, walks away. And
Mm-hmm.
Marticarus kind of has that same factor with just a lot more move speed in his kit, so he kind of can get a little faster than her. Instead of having that banish like Frey does, he's got the grass, and that grass can make such a huge difference between him dying, him living.
Mm-hmm. Well, as the compositions are finally rounded out, I have one last question for you, and that's who are you leaning towards getting the win in this first game right now?
I don't like playing Kepri to executes if you can't help it, so I'm gonna go with Mystic Sea Serpents just because of the Kepri lock.
Well, with that being said, there's only one way to find out, and that's to go into the game, and we'll be right in that game right after this break. Are we good?
Yep, we are.
Okay. Like I think you might be muted, dude. Hey, before we start the stream, can you turn this?
Quake with fear. Scream in terror. Flee.
All right, and welcome back, everybody. Here we are, walking right into game one, excuse me, in this Walker's division, set 2 for me, which is where that confusion comes from. And we got the comps lined out. We talked a little bit here and there about what we're seeing from these teams, and really, it's kind of interesting. Off the rip, it's a Kepri solo.
You know, you kind of just.
Yeah. I gotta say it's one of the more interesting things I've seen. So clearly this Kepri wasn't picked for its ultimate.
No. Well, it could have been, you know. Thanatos can only execute one person at a time unless you decide to all bunch together in a group. But
Yeah.
The thing that really is kind of amusing to me is you watch that Kepri have to drag his blue buff under the tower to be able to clear it at any decent speed. So he's already a little bit of gold behind this truck.
Yeah, it's a very, very unfortunate situation as a Guardian.
But take a look on the map so we can see out.
Yeah, walking up behind, he's going to throw some abilities out. May actually be able to get this first kill on the Rawl. Doesn't seem like he has his dash, but he will be able to get the escape. Now the aggression has changed over to the ADC, and now Rawl's taking poke once again. They will be able to get out, and I would say it's still a win for. I would say that's still a win for the Mystic Sea Serpents. Oh, and it might not be anymore as MIA now in a 1v1 with iSamurai as the damage continues to come out. Thanatos just has a much better early game, and MIA gets to find out just how much better that early game is. So great rotation from the jungler there of Vibe Tribe.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing that is kind of amusing to me is both these junglers on very feast or famine gods, you know. Kepri, or not Kepri, sorry, Thanatos. I don't know why I said Kepri. But Thanatos kind of like, you know, if he gets ahead any remote level gold, you're kind of just feeling him every hit on the map. And if he's behind, all you're feeling is him just ulting away or ulting to just maybe set his team up.
Rawl still considering staying in this lane right now, being as low as he is. It's kind of surprising. Looks like he's finally going to get that back off. And iSamurai actually was still hanging out over in the duo lane as well. Likely just waiting for those camps to come up off of respawn. But where do you think the Mystic Sea Serpents need to play out of in order to win this game? Should they just go over there and try and find a kill on the solo lane over and over and just keep Tiny Giant out of the game? Or I mean, excuse me, Izakor out of the game and let this Kepri get ahead? I got the two confused there. Or do they maybe try to play out of the mid or duo lane and get one of these more prime targets ahead?
You know, getting a Kepri fed, I don't think really going to make that much of an impact in the game. It's not going to be like that feast that you want. maybe playing through your mid with this Marticarus who already has a little bit of a lead built for himself, or out of this Hachi who, if he just gets a little bit more later in the game, he's just gonna auto your front line, their back line, just everyone in like 3-4 autos, and someone's dead.
Eye Samurai coming over to the right side now for a blue buff steal. Tries to take it away, and it is confirmed by MIA. So no blue buff steal onto the Khepri just yet. And I feel like that might be a good call for the side of Vibe Tribe is, okay, well, we already have a weak lane opponent, in Khepri. Well, why don't we just keep him down? Do you think that might be the right way to play that, or should they try and maybe put pressure somewhere else as well?
It's definitely one way to play it, because, your Chalk does have the potential to just fight the back line of a team very effectively, so it's like maybe, getting him a little more ahead against this Khepri, where it's like, making less of an impact than he already will be. Could help, and then, maybe looking towards maybe the duo side where, you're on her having a little bit better of an early would definitely be more worthwhile.
As this game progresses, the duo lane heavily in favor of the Mystic Sea Serpents right now. These guys have held on to quite a bit of pressure here. And I mean, Hachi Yamoja is definitely a lane that just screams pressure to me.
I think it more comes down to, starter choices. I'm loving right now that War Flag just because it's such a good just stat item right now for your ADC and you in general too, because who doesn't love a little bit more attack speed?
Oh yeah, especially early on.
Yeah.
Oh, an attempted execution. It's gonna be botched though as he gets knocked under tower, and Frost is gonna find himself the first kill for the Mystic Sea Serpents. Up into the air is Eye Samurai. In response, if Spit for Lube will be able to get out of that situation. He's still in a little bit of trouble though. Has to dash away, so not another kill for them. But I'd say that's a pretty good start. I'm sorry, Vibe Tribe got that kill. I'm getting myself so confused. Vibe Tribe finally getting that first kill. Or that. Anyways, Vibe Tribe got another kill. That's what I've been trying to say this whole time.
It's okay. I understood what you were getting at. If I'm trading my support for the enemy jungle, I'm sorry, Raul, but we're.
Oh yeah, I think that's the trade that you're looking for every time. And go back over to the solo lane. Khepri gonna try and earn himself a totem, but doesn't look like that's gonna happen. Ultimate from Izakor is going to make really sure of that. And I don't know about you. I mean, I don't want to talk at length about a Khepri pick in solo lane because it seems like it would be obvious that it's not the greatest pick you could have went for here, especially even in the world of Guardian solos. But if this Khepri does get to late game and doesn't fall too far behind his lane opponent, we're already a level down, but I mean, if it doesn't get much further, does this Khepri still have value in the late, being in the position it's in?
Pretty much what I think they're going for in this is, double support haha moment of, can't kill my backline if we're just killing them out, right?
Yeah.
But that being said, that really limits your engage. You have to be more than
Oh. Interesting ultimate from Lord Poseidon. He almost gets the kill there. And now it's Eye Samurai trying to clean this one up. Too many targets are too high health, and now he takes his own poke instead. And the emoji sustain is coming up big right now.
That is one thing, anti-heal is going to be a must.
Oh, Sabashine finds a kill. Tower finds its own kill in this game. MIA looked to try to make a play. I would assume onto Rawl. Wasn't really able to get a clear picture of that one. But we'll get a clear picture of this one right here. Is Dip Spit for Lube is trying to win this 1v1, and he will get the last auto attack necessary. Ultimate's going to come out to try and get out. Doesn't worry about the CC from the ultimate because he's CC immune while on the mounted cavalry. And that, I think, is a really good trade. You get 2 ultimates for the price of 1 and a kill. So Hachiman, already a very impressive late game hunter, going to be getting there much faster now.
You know, there's one thing I do want to say.
Hmm.
Void Dormammu's on shock.
Huh.
Now, for those of you who don't know what Void Dormammu do, it lowers magical protections. And, you know, there's a much nicer item you can go in that slot, and it's, you know, going Genji's Guard. You're into
Right.
magical solo, you know, you get hit by magic damage all the time. You're not dealing magical damage, right? But hold that thought.
MIA, looking for a little something here, but Godzilla Frost is going to stay under that tower and make sure he's safe and well secure from any form of gank there. And one thing I'm noticing is it seems like it's very difficult for these junglers to make any real headway right now in these ganks. Lord Poseidon does eat a Persephone ult. Nobody's here to follow up, and Savashine's going to throw out the ultimate just to make sure that it stays that way. Samurai going to take his own poke now, trying to make his way out. Izakor here is here though, and he's going to try to land the ultimate, but up into the air goes Lord Poseidon. He's going to throw out some damage. Savashine taking a lot of damage in response though. MIA did find a kill and comes down from the execute, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to find anything more than that. Raw going to get the root down, but the 1 dash will keep MIA out of trouble. Savashine kind of playing with fate here, staying around like this, but safe enough under the tower that a dive won't get to him that easily.
Yep, and the effect of that market is comes into play where it's like, you know, haha, can't touch me.
Yeah, easily avoids danger from the chalk ult with that as well, making that engagement swing heavily in their favor. Well, more in their favor, considering that somebody died, and I'm not sure who it was. Oh no, they found the kill. Of course, I'm just finding all the ways to get this wrong today.
It's okay. I understand what you're trying to get at. You know, let's take a look at builds really quickly here. You know, we see. Never mind, we got a scuffle going on. So.
A scuffle indeed, and it's a low health Mia who's trying to run. Thanatos ult just doesn't have the range or the movement speed to catch back up, but MIA is going to actually go back in and get hit with the chalk ult. It's only a matter of time, and it's a fantastic ult from Tiny Giant to save the life of his jungle. And it looks like this Khepri solo has already paid itself off.
Yep, you know. I still don't like it, but you know.
Oh.
Huh.
And quick kill in mid for Lord Poseidon onto the support of Vibe Tribe, and now it's the 1v1. Misses the pillar, but still gets the stun onto Dip Spit for Lube. Frost just trying to survive this lane, this 2-level lead right now for the Hachiman. Definitely not feeling great. Misses the jump, does get the pillar down, but I don't think it's going to save his life. He's actually going to have to make a run for it, and the mounted archery is going to find the kill. And the beacon finds the tower.
Yeah, that's taking the bastions early and just getting that first beacon. And then they're just gonna pivot to the gold tree and just build themselves a bigger lead. Up 2k already. Gonna convert that more to like 3-4k kind of range. So you do gotta wonder, right? Like, you know, you have a solo who's slightly ahead. You have a jungle who's even. Your support's kind of even, but you know, you don't have that.
Oh, Savashine going down, staying in his own jungle just a little too long. Samurai, though, is in a really bad spot, just trying to stay alive as long as he can. finally gets the auto attacks that he needs, though, is Dip Spit for Lube, and he will find himself another kill, putting him up 3-0.
Yeah. I don't think that paid off the way he thought it would, you know. Kind of, you got the kill on the support, but you died in the end, and it's like, oh, maybe not that good.
I think that might be the issue of the Thanatos effect. Oh, I see a low health target. Oh, I gotta go on it. And then he finds out that there are plenty of other teammates around that player. So kind of unfortunate.
Yeah, that's my favorite playing Thanatos, when you go to dive in and all of a sudden you see like 7 players. And, you're questioning how their gamer site got 7 players again on the enemy team. And you really
I don't know how 7 got here, but there are 7 people here, I swear.
Yo. And that's when you're like, I've dove in Hero with again.
Izakor making another rotation into mid. Not as fortuitous as before, though. Gets shut down pretty quickly and has to just take the walk of shame back into solo lane. Meanwhile, Dip Spit for Lube over here in the solo lane right now. They're going to see Izakor coming up. They're going to throw some abilities at him. Samurai doing his best impressions of Michael Jordan on the jukes. Ultimate comes out, and it's going to be a beads from Dip Spit for Lube to keep himself alive. Godzilla Frost is also here, but he's going to take a ton of damage from Mia. Mia unable to finish the kill. Beads comes out for the silence. May not be enough. He's able to dodge the one from the chalk, but is he going to be able to dodge the ultimate? Actually not the target, and Samurai finds the kill onto Izakor. Onto Dip Spit for Lube. Izakor also falls. Samurai finds another kill onto Mia. He gets the target after all, but he may be the target now. Tries to make his own escape. 3 members of the Mystic Sea Serpents chasing him down all the way into the mid lane. Lands the Death Scythe onto Martikaros. He will be able to walk out of this one. Ultimate also comes out from Ritters. And another ultimate from Rawl. Going to probably cancel out this engagement entirely. And that is a pretty good swing of events, mainly for Samurai.
That's actually massive in not just for Samurai, but for Vibe Tribe as a whole. You know, you got the shutdown onto Hachi, who has kind of just been allowed to do whatever he wanted. So, you know, smart play on Samurai to go, I see you're executable, but I'm just going to ignore that and go on to the guy I really want here.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see him switch targets there. I was definitely expecting him to land onto Mia, but I think the landing onto that shutdown bounty was definitely a better play for him. And now we're going to see him probably make another attempt at a gank. Dip Spit definitely had to have seen him walk over that teleporter, though.
Yeah, you know, get revealed for a couple seconds, and that's all it takes for the enemy ADC to run back to tower line.
But now, Dip Spit for Lube taking a 1v1 while Samurai still lurks in the jungle. Could be potential here. Samurai goes up into the air. Dip Spit definitely none the wiser, misses the ult. Dashes through the targets, but the one does so much damage. Mounted archery will still get him out alive. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, MIA finds a kill onto Britters. Dip Spit for Lube is still here. Finds another kill onto Rawl. And Samurai finally gets the kill onto Dip Spit for Lube. It's a very interesting trade here. Also found the mid tower, but it doesn't look like there's any other objectives for them to really try to pick up.
Yeah, I will say, you know, just because one ADC is dead does not mean you can't do an objective with this team comp. But, you know, just looking at the way this is going, you know, they're shutting down the Hachi now, you know. That 2-3 level lead that was there no longer a factor.
Oh, it's a battle of the junglers here as the action continues. Kepri does get the grab. MIA will find the kill, and now Izakor is the one that's in danger. He hits the 2 for the slow just to get a little bit more damage out. MIA is running down this chalk, making him choose between 2 different situations, and he sticks to the asteroid. Not a bad decision, in my opinion.
Yep, you know, Izakor living there, kind of like, ooh, it's pretty good, but now you'll notice that Tiny Giant now has a lead on this Kepri, so it's like...
Yeah. It's not very often you get to see a Kepri solo, and it's not very often you see a Kepri solo winning. So this is quite the treat.
Yeah.
As the ADCs still continue to trade out like madmen over here in the duo lane. And I think that's kind of like the name of the game for this one, is just constant trading. Dipspit, once again, jumped on to thrown away from the objective. It was stolen away, and Izakor does finally fall to MIA. Ultimate did come out from Raw to try and maybe snipe something away, but MIA is just going to go ahead and take away that blue buff camp and just continue to stretch his lead over his jungler opponent.
It's kind of hitting that scenario where it's like, oh, the Outflong's got some kills now. He's building himself a little bit of a lead now, kind of looking to influence the map more and more as he gets himself a little more bigger into this late game. And you kind of got to look across the board here. And it's like, you got to find a footing somewhere, and it looks like Vibe Tribe doesn't know where to find that. Samurai trying to find the footing earlier onto this on her, maybe try to get him a little bit, and really didn't pay off for him there. And he was like, eh.
Oh. The Hachi feeling the effects of the on her ultimate. Dipspit just trying to find the target, but Godzilla Frost will survive the initial engagement, but MIA is here. He's going to try to find himself a kill. Actually gets knocked back, but now the Marticross has showed up. Beads gets used. It's not going to be able to save his life, though, it looks like. So he gets stuck on his own pillar and falls to MIA, only adding to that massive kill count that he is accruing.
That's kind of like, oh, I soloed my lane opponent finally, and then it's like, the rest of this team showed up.
Oh, an unfortunate whiff from Savashine. Doesn't lock anybody in that River's Rebuke. Izakor, though, is coming around the back, but he's walking straight into 4 members of the Mystic Sea Serpents. Lord Poseidon actually gets TP'd over to right lane with MIA. I don't know if that's the situation you want to be in. Teleport does lengthen the engagement here, and it looks like Izakor will be able to live to see another day. Samurai trading with Savashine. Looks like any attempt at an objective play was shut down, though, with that unfortunate teleport.
Kind of looked like maybe an accidental teleport.
Oh, yeah.
Just looking surprised, like, okay, I guess we go back to fighting. And
it's like the action movie trope where the two guys are not sure how they got there because they've been fighting all through the 7-story tower that they were in or whatever.
Yep. And, we got a interesting... This is a Kepri build I haven't seen in a minute, honestly. Just going pretty much all aura items, Usually you only see Ares rolling his face on the aura selection. But, it's welcome sight.
I think this is very interesting from Mystic Sea Serpents, because we were very questionable of the Kepri pick, but we'll talk about that here in a second, because Samurai is doling out the damage here as Britters is trying to solo the Pyromancer. Lord Poseidon will find the kill, and they're trying to get him out of that cage. MIA is here now. Samurai has to use the ultimate for an escape. They'll pick this Pyromancer right back up. Izakor's here. He's going to try and do a little bit of something, but he's only going to slow down the damage with the rain. Rawl sends the ultimate across the map, doesn't quite connect onto Pyromancer. Izakor goes up into the ultimate. The objective's not dropped yet, and Vibe Tribe actually steal it away. Rawl finds a kill onto the Tiny Giant. They might try to find another kill. No, looks like they will just let that engagement die out instead. Actually, they go for the re-engage. Rawl, no mana though, really needs to be careful in this situation. And MIA actually got cut out all by himself in the jungle. Samurai finds the kill. Lord Poseidon up into the air, doing damage to Izakor the whole time, and he will find himself a kill as well. 3-0 and 6 is the Marticross. Going to try and find a little more damage. Samurai just a little too fast for him.
Yeah, kind of got to. Oh, maybe they stuck here.
Maybe, yeah. Samurai does collect the needle from the tube, but it slowly goes away. Still trying to fight over the beacon. Lord Poseidon taking some damage from Samurai. Not able to return it either, but in the end, the Stygian beacon does go the way of the Mystic Sea Serpents. Now he's going to chase him down, lands the auto attack combo, and just burns him down. Samurai finds himself on the gray screen once again.
Yeah.
Try this.
Oh. So,
I'm-
some really smart plays coming out from Lord Poseidon, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Recognizing, hey, I have the damage to take this fight going. You know, you don't really have any way to stop me from just hitting you like it's a...
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's great that these guys are recognizing their damage scaling here. They know where their leads are, how to play around them. And Lord Poseidon is definitely, I think definitely who the Mystic Sea Serpents need to rally around. And they drafted perfectly for this too, because you've got Yamoja. She's running that attack speed item. I cannot remember the name of the like War Flag, and it's only going to get better from there. And you got the double Guardian composition as well to facilitate for this double ADC comp that you genuinely like to see, and just to make up for the damage that they would have lacked normally, you're also seeing a mage jungle out of the Ao Kuang. So far, the Mystic Sea Serpents kind of just doing everything right, in my opinion. Dash a little off the mark, and Raw's going to send the ultimate over towards the solo lane just to slow this one down. Ultimate's going to land on 2, though, and MIA is the target. It's a level 20 Ao Kuang. Ultimate's going to come out from Tiny Giant, though. He's going to land him right back into the same position he was already in. Tries to ult Samurai, but Samurai ults in response, and they trade each other with the damage from the minions helping. Tiny Giant also fell in that fight. Izakor gonna take some poke from Lord Poseidon. Only 3 members alive from the Mystic Sea Serpents. Gonna have to try and back up here, but they're taking it slow, trying to throw out some damage, get some poke, maybe even look for a potential re-engage. Did spit for lube, all by his lonesome over there in the solo lane right now. Looks like he will back up, maybe just for some farm.
You see bitters.
Oh.
I haven't seen this mid really rotate at all like Lord Poseidon has. Kind of just been sitting mid lane.
Oh, Div spit for lube, jumped on by 3 members, stayed in solo lane just a little too long, but the Desert Fury does not connect all of its shots, and Div spit for lube will survive.
I don't think he will. That Thanatos move speed, he's just flying. I don't think he can get through this wall.
He's trying to find the entrance to the blink there, but he's just going to walk around now. Misses after the blink. Has to use the ultimate to get out, but only barely does he die. And it's Lord Poseidon picking up another kill. 5-0 and 6 is the mid laner for the Mystic Sea Serpents, and I don't think it could be any better right now. Both your ADCs are level 20. Both of them have survived. The jungler for Vibe Tribe is in the grayscale. This is a perfect time to try and pull Fire Giant right now. They don't have a mid that can steal effectively. Izakor has to show his face, and he's half health if they want to do it, but it looks like they're actually more content to try and push down right and take this tier 2 tower. Tiny Giant already here. Lord Poseidon going to grab up a little bit of farm, stack up that passive as much as he can before he goes in. But Tiny Giant already trying to find his own damage. Dip spit for lube, finds a kill in mid, but it's not over yet. Oh no, it is. I'm sorry. That's the Persephone icon I'm still seeing because of her passive. But that's going to be the mid T2 going down instead. The kill on their mid laner really kind of just changes everything now. But it's actually the Vibe Tribe here that's looking for the engage. Gets a silence onto both the tanks. But Lord Poseidon rearing for a fight. Stepping up, just trying to find any damage he can put out.
Maybe they'll take the Fire Giant now, but instead it looks like we're just going to back off, reset. Maybe do another couple dance moves, you know. Get a little tango going. Texas two-step. I don't know.
I mean, it's really in Sea Serpent's court. If they're comfortable to continue farming and getting their support and solo ahead, oh no. Saba Shine taking quite a bit of damage. The root does come through. Ultimate's going to have to come out in order to get him out of that situation. Great root from Tiny Giant to help his own support out. A support for the support, I suppose. But now... Oh, TP's right in front of Dip Spit for lube. Blink is going to keep him a little bit longer out of this engagement, or a little bit longer out of this fight, I should say. Ultimate did come out from Rawl just to ensure Samurai's life. But it's still just the Lord Poseidon show. Lands a 240 damage crit to a tank, no less. And he's still pounding out the damage right now. Doesn't matter if he's critting or not. MIA finds a kill on the Britters in the mid lane. And they're still trying to find more damage onto these tanks for Vibe Tribe. Isaac gonna have to make his way around the Fire Giant, getting chased around the jungle by MIA. Rawl gonna have to use the dash for escape. And Godzilla Frost peeling for his own support. As they change the damage over to Rawl. Rawl's an execute threshold. MIA just has to get close enough, but the horrific slows him down. Has to wait on the dash to come up off the cooldown just to catch up. Is he going to be able to do it before the silence goes off? No, he's not. And he's going to fall for the blunder. And now Tiny Giant's the target, but Lord Poseidon still just looking for anything to throw damage at. He will find a target, but no kill for the Mystic Sea Serpents here. Samurai in the air. Actually lands down on Dip Spit for Lube. Beads comes out, and he's going to get crit down. But now the On-Her is going to turn his attention. Desert Fury is going to come through. Doesn't land very many, but it doesn't matter because he has auto attacks to back up that damage. He's being chased down now. Rawl going to find his way over to help his ADC. Lord Poseidon actually taking some damage for once as they find a way to get to him. But now Tiny Giant's going to find the peel. Beads are going to come through. Kepriol's going to also be used just to ensure his life, and now he's going to turn the damage back around himself. Rawl is going to continue to chase, and he gets rooted in the middle of his dash. And there's nothing that's going to happen to this mid. There are too many factors being played into here, mainly just in the two Guardians that are willing to die for their mid laner.
Just so much fuel to save this man's life. Like, I just want to touch on the fact that Tiny Giant has sold and bought an item in that like 5th slot like 7 different times, and I'm not sure what he's going at this point.
He hasn't figured out if he wants cooldown yet or if he wants to build another aura.
Yeah, as we do get a pause, it looks like.
Yep, we do have a pause. Looks like we're encountering some small technical difficulties. So while we wait for this pause to end, we're going to go ahead and throw this over to a quick break, and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back from that short break as we have the pause ended. There was a little bit of a issue with the support for the Mystic Sea Serpents, but it looks like they got that sorted out. And we see a ward get placed on Fire Giant. And Neptune, I gotta ask, does this mean we're finally going to see an objective fight here?
You would hope so, but well, one thing this does require is a Persephone rotating out of mid.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a for sure. And of course, team grouping. But we can't expect everything to happen as soon as possible. We got some late game farming to do. Got to get those red pots. Got to get those 3K pots. And more importantly, we got to slow down Davashine, who has to burn half of her Omi to try not to get caught out by the solo and jungle of Vibe Tribe. Pluck is connected onto Samurai, who continues to walk forward, And now it's Mortikrosh just doing the damage. Lord Poseidon finds himself the 6th kill of the game. And Izakor, now the next target, actually TP's back in, runs towards the enemy towers instead of away from them. Has no other direction to go though. It's, I feel like, only eventual that he does fall. TP's once again most likely going to get cut off here by Lord Poseidon. Blink comes out and Blink comes out in response. The chase is still on. Lord Poseidon trying to find some damage. Frost will find a kill on to Dip Spit for Lube in the mid lane. Tiny Giant also stuck between 3 members as Rawl does his best to keep him occupied. Crits are coming through. 330 damage onto a tank. Desert Fury is going to land most of its shots, and Godzilla Frost will find a kill. Izakor likely to go down here any moment now, waiting on that dash to come up for MIA. He's going to actually change targets now and go help the rest of his team instead, which is a great call because Godzilla Frost is low, and Lord Poseidon finally finds his way into the grayscale for the first time, but not without trading and giving another kill over to his 10-kill jungler. Rawl still in the mix, trying to find a way to take down this jungle who's just found so many kills in all of these fights. And it's a fantastic ult from Savashine to redirect the forces of Vibe Tribe away from MIA.
Smart recognition of Godzilla Frost going, I may die here, but I'm taking you with me.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, that really gives him a lot to just be like, yeah, I can finish my build, I can do this now. And kind of really shifts the balance really.
It's an attempted steal, but Vibe Tribe has the secure, so no fear there. And a second objective of the game falls here. 33 minutes in, though, and neither team is content to look at Fire Giant here. Might actually end up seeing a game where Fire Giant isn't the call at all, as 4 members get rooted inside the beacon. All the Mystic Sea Serpents are here to try and take this away. Britters falls to Dip Spit for Lube. Up into the air is the Thanatos. May try to find another kill. Has to land at some point, though, and he lands right in front of Dip Spit for Lube. With the help of his team, though, he will fall. MIA getting thrown around in between 3 members of Vibe Tribe. Not enough damage from the ultimate for Lord Poseidon to find the kill onto Rawl. And MIA goes down, getting a little too greedy, and Tiny Giant followed his jungle possibly into death here. He will be able to make the escape with the dash. Trying to confirm the beacon. The Mystic Sea Serpents actually take themselves off of the objective. Throw some damage out at Izakor. And no kill found, and it looks like Deacon will make a full transition over. Still not confirmed yet, though, and they're still making attempts to try to take this away. Throw some damage out just to get some poke. But a beacon will go down to Vibe Tribe. And it's still not over. Rawl walks all the way up to the enemy T2, taking as much poke as the rest of his team did. Primal Fury, though, is getting looked at. Vision is in the favor of the Vibe Tribe, who will be pulling this. Crit after crit from Godzilla Frost. And it will finally go down. So the third objective now, 2 in favor of Vibe Tribe. I gotta ask, man. Now that we're seeing these objectives go down, Vibe Tribe have kind of found their way back into this game where it looked like Lord Poseidon was going to backpack his team and carry him all the way to a win. Now it seems like that is potentially not possible. Everyone's level 20. Everyone but the mid is full build on the side of Vibe Tribe. Is it really going to come down to just a 5v5 fight, or are we going to have to see a pick come through for these guys?
You know, one can't really Sea Serpents can't pull an objective. They have no like straight up burst damage to full secure an objective, and neither does Vibe Tribe. So it's gotta be that like, oh, we found a pick, we can go in, and that pick sooner just transition into possibly a team wipe, and or just
Excuse me. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking. Oh, as Dip Spit for Lube finds himself another kill in this game, but he's a little far forward and needs some help from his team to get out of this one. Ultimate's going to come out from the support and mid of the Mystic Sea Serpents. MIA finds Britters. Now he's going to help his team take out Rawl. Rawl's taking a ton of damage from all of the crit that's coming out. Izakor diving in and realizing that this engagement is not what he was looking for. Raw gets thrown up into the air just to buy time for MIA to stay alive. Now they're going to turn their attention over to him and find him now. And there's only one member of Vibe Tribe remaining, and they're going to try to chase him down and take him out. MIA going to hit the slow, but the teleport from Izakor is going to keep him alive just a little bit longer. The crits are raining through, and Dipspit for Lube will hit the last required auto attacks to take out the only surviving member of the Vibe Tribe left. And now it's a full team push down right lane. Fire Giant not required, as this Phoenix slowly but surely will fall. Ooh, Thanatos goes up into the air. May actually try to find a kill. Looking around, lands on Dipspit for Lube, lots of damage. Doesn't land the 3 though, and actually might turn it back around. Lord Poseidon is the one who gets the kill, saving his ADC. And now another Phoenix may fall in response to that.
You know, in a game like this where, you know, the concept of what's happening there, you know, mentals sometimes just make the difference. And, it's looking like one team is like, oh yeah, we're rallied behind someone, and another one's just like, what are you doing right now?
It's definitely a tough situation for Vibe Tribe. It's like you said, the Mystic Sea Serpents have a core member of the team that they can rally around, and it's Lord Poseidon. Lord Poseidon has been in the headway of every fight. He's making all of the plays for his team. He's getting the damage out, and then MIA also doing the same. He's coming in and cleaning up what can't be finished by his team. And, I mean, with the build that he's got, he absolutely should. Rod up to Hootie. He's got 30% pan alone in his build at the moment. Got a finished starter here. I haven't seen a lot of that jungle starter. I cannot remember. Eye of the Jungle. Protector. Thank you, Protection, so much for that. I was embarrassing myself. Haven't seen a lot of Protector in a while. What is the allure for Protector? Is it just the protections that they put on the item that make it better now, or maybe not better, but make it something worth going towards?
You know, I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of Protector right now, but they have been throwing a lot in this jungle run. So it could be the whole reason why, because, you know, I'm a big fan of just Boomba's Spear on Magical. Jungles, I love it. It's funny.
Oh yeah.
And it gives so much power in 10.
Yeah, Boomba's definitely feels like the superior item, but with the amount of brawling, like you said, and 70 power is still nothing to scoff at. It's not pin, but straight up power, and with the amount of pin that I think the MIA has in his build, really kind of makes up for that lack that he's not getting in his starter. I mean, do you really need 40% pin? I'd say yes, but if you're getting away with 30, keep it up. It's working for you.
One thing is well, the other thing you'll notice is a scuffle.
Yeah, looks like Dipspit for Lube had to use the ultimate to get out of a sticky situation. But what were you mentioning here?
Oh, we've got, out of the build where he's got that protector.
Oh! Ultimate's got to come out from Tiny Giant, and another ultimate from Savashine just to split up the engagement. Dipspit for Lube is low. Samurai doesn't get the kill. Raw picks it up instead, and now Samurai has to walk away from this fight. Izakor, once again, leading the enemy team away from his own team, just trying to buy time, putting out some damage onto Savashine while he can. And it's all 4 members pushing their way in, trying to find a Phoenix in response. Meanwhile, it's actually MIA trying to backdoor the Titan, and Samurai will clean that one up. Hopefully the Mystic Sea Serpents can defend this mid Phoenix and make that push a lot more worth it. That Titan is so low. There's so many minions in there. Minions actually might win them the game here. Raw is the only person trying to stop these fire minions from killing the Titan right now. Finally, Samurai comes over to help, but meanwhile, the team fight in mid does swing into the favor of Vibe Tribe, and they do get that mid Phoenix, and this should be an end call for Vibe Tribe here. Izakor leading the charge. Godzilla Frost throwing out his auto attacks, just trying to do damage as quickly as possible. Gets Fit for Lubes up in 5 seconds, but I think it's 5 seconds too long as the Titan looks like it's going to fall all the way down, dashes in, but not soon enough, and it is a Vibe Tribe victory in game 1.
The backdoor attempt to the just not able to finish, not able to clean it.
It hurts. That one definitely was felt. And regardless of that, though, I wouldn't say that was the end-all, be-all of the game. Vibe Tribe struggled throughout the early and mid. Late game was starting to kind of come into their own. And really, excuse me, really, like you said, they didn't have anything to rally behind. And then Izakor became the point to rally behind. 0-4 and 13. You don't have to get kills to win games, and I think Izakor really showed that here. He never gave up on his team or on himself, especially on such a hard start. And it's very disheartening. Losing against a Keprian lane is not something that every solo laner ever wants to admit, but Izakor didn't let that bother him. And he put his team on his back and became most likely a motivational leader and a figurehead for his team to get this victory.
Yeah, you can kind of see it in the post game where it's like, 83 damage mitigated, 26k damage. It's like, ooh.
Mm-hmm.
And on the opposite end, his ADC 45k damage. And, Lord Poseidon also making himself felt with another 45k. Crit.
Yeah, crit, everybody, just in case you didn't know. That's kind of good right now. We're going to have to see what adjustments are made to potentially take this to a game 3. So make sure you guys stick around and join us for the next game of this set to see if Lord Poseidon and the rest of the Mystic Sea Serpents can carry themselves to a victory in this set. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're here at Game 2 of the Walkers set between Vibe Tribe and Mystic Sea Serpents. I almost did it again. Mystic Sea Serpents. And Vibe Tribe were able to pull out a turnaround victory against the Mystic Sea Serpents in Game 1, and have now found themselves firmly placed in the first pick selection here. And Neptune, what kind of adjustments do you think Mystic Sea Serpents need to make in order to take this to a Game 3?
To take this to the game 3, I think you take away the Thanatos. I think you take away the chalk.
Okay. Well, it looks like we've already got one piece to that puzzle here. Thanatos is the first overall ban from Vibe Tribe, and it's still the Baki in response from Mystic Sea Serpents.
Yeah, kind of. I think you take away the factor that Izakor and Samurai had, and maybe Godzilla Frost as well in that late game.
Mm-hmm. Definitely had a showing for sure. Another thing to point out here is MIA, another person who also put up double-digit kills, and it looks like Vibe Tribe are perfectly fine with that. They did not take away the Ao Kuang this time around, and it's actually the Mystic Sea Serpents who take away the Ao Kuang just to make sure that Vibe Tribe doesn't get something that works so well for them away from them.
Yeah, I think another thing that what you can do, not going the Khepri in solo, because you do need a little more magic damage than just straight up Ao Kuang. You'll usually see a heavy burst mid, and
Athena.
we might see the first lock of the game here.
It's an Athena pick for the Mystic Sea Serpents.
I like Athena. I think she's one of the. I say this with having played pretty much every support in the game, including Cthulhu. I think she's one of the easiest supports in the game to play. So it's very much like push 2, taunt into team, win team fight.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to spell it out. I think Athena is really one of the it's an easy god to execute on. You add that global presence into the mix, and the execution just becomes that much easier. You can be anywhere that your team is with the press of a button, give that person some mitigations for an engage or a disengage, and then, as you said, press 2, win team fight. And she was banned away in the first game, so seeing her get picked up so high is, pretty common. She's very sought after, and it looks like it
Yemoja.
actually might end up being an Athena solo. Now, and you were talking about something a little bit more damaging than a Khepri. Do you think Athena would do a better job in solo than a Khepri would?
I mean, you see Athena jungle more than you see Khepri jungle. All I'm saying.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true.
I do want to kind of flip over the other side of these picks and bans, and we see a tier Ravana.
Persephone.
Yeah, very interesting. Very interesting dive orientation they've got going on here. Got away from the Thanatos because obviously it got banned. Both junglers with executes off the game. No longer taking any form of execute into this game, especially with the Achilles. Probably not going to be getting looked at unless Mystic Sea Serpents decide to take it into jungle, but I doubt it. And it's going to be the Morgan Le Fay banned away from Vibe Tribe alongside the Rat on her. Going to get taken away from the Mystic Sea Serpents, which is, I'd say, interesting, simply because the ADCs didn't get picked up here. I'm a little confused. The ADC already got locked in for the Mystic Sea Serpents, but I guess they're worried, again, about that double ADC composition coming out. You can't ban all the hunters, and Kernabog gets through, so... Yeah, you got rid of Hachi, you got rid of On Her, but now you've got to contend with a double global presence comp from the Mystic Sea Serpents.
Thoth.
Yeah, I really don't like double ADC team comps. As
Loki.
fun it is to play and run around with. I just don't think running an ADC all the time out of mid lets you really do a lot when you're forcing, I'm
Charon.
just gonna pretend I didn't see that hover.
Ugh. Well, it's a final lock-in here for both teams, and the last 4 picks is Kernabog, Thoth, Loki, and Charon. Charon being on the Mystic Sea Serpents. And, one thing that I'm seeing that's, in my opinion, very interesting is, one, Tyr's got to be the support for Vibe Tribe, right? Like, that's got to be the lock-in here. Because there's no other warrior, which means it's either a Robin or a Loki solo. So between those two, which of those picks would you prefer to see in the solo lane?
Out of the solo lane, I'm just gonna counter argue for the sake of counter argument. I think it's just Tyr solo.
Really?
Yeah.
You think you might be seeing a Loki support here or something like that?
You know what? I wouldn't be surprised.
Throw it all out there. No, I mean, this is what we're here for. We're on the desk. We analyze. We talk about it. And I mean, if that's the case, what does a Loki bring to the table as a support?
You know what? Being a nuisance. Just
Yeah.
straight up, I hate Loki players, and I will die on that hill. And I do play Loki too, so I know where that conversation goes.
For sure.
But Loki's just annoying. You're like, oh, where's Loki? It's like on my back line again.
So, with that being said, there's got to be one more thing that we gloss over real quick, because obviously it can't go ignored. While the Mystic Sea Serpents have opted again to run the double ADC composition, which is likely now going to be Athena jungle, Yamoja support, and Karen solo, what about this double mid that we're seeing from Vibe Tribe? We got a Persephone locked in. I'm going to assume that's going back to Red Britters. So does that mean we're going to see Godzilla Frost playing Thoth?
Thoth ADC goes hard. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, yeah. No, I mean, you make a solid point there. I can't argue with that. We've seen Thoth ADC played quite a bit. We're only going to find out exactly what these teams have thought up with their interesting picks for their team compositions after this break. All right, we're back after a very short break. Everything's set up and ready to go, and looking at what we've got here, well, I was wrong. I also got some names confused as well, but it's a Yamoja solo. Now, of course, that comes with the question, what do you think?
Cut the script.
Ah,
Yamoja solo used to be a thing before they decided to gut her damage numbers, and we do have to see Tiny Giant once more pull his.
we do, in fact, see him pulling that under tower. I don't know about you. I would have much rather had seen the Athena solo. I definitely was on board with that, but
Yeah.
that's not what we're getting. And it's still perfectly fine in support, is how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean they're both decent supports. They're not terrible. Hang on, that someone looks almost dead.
Almost dead indeed, and it's going to be Godzilla Frost. Sorry about that. Something stole my attention. That falls down for first blood, and the X-Ball manages to survive. MIA. lurking around in the jungle, trying to find another kill if he can. He's going to go straight towards Ice Samurai and is dead in an instant. And it's Dipspit for Lube finding himself his own kill as well. Both members of the duo lane starting off with their own kill. Probably not the best person you could give first blood to, but I guess at that point you're really just glad to get first blood.
Yeah.
Ooh, another taunt, and Dipspit for Lube is really playing with fate right now. But no fear. Trying to get the branching bolus onto Raw, but not enough damage off of those to get a kill with them just yet. Has to continue to play safe. MIA gonna cancel the back and get the kill onto Britters. Oh.
I think he just stood in that.
Maybe got caught shopping?
I mean, Kmart might have been open.
Looks like we're going to find another little scuffle in the jungle as Samurai still, unfortunately, stuck at level 2. Not really able to contest this mid lane pressure right now as Lord Poseidon on his famed Thoth in the mid lane up against Red Britter's Persephone. And as we continue here into the 3-minute point, just about there, what is something that you're seeing aside from the Umoja solo that is also maybe like a linchpin for the Mystic Sea Serpents here? Ooh, stolen away.
You know, I'll have to hold that thought until after we finish whatever's
Yeah.
going on here.
Oh, it's both of the supports popping the relics here as Godzilla Frost trying to find some damage. Raw might be able to do his own damage, and Savashine gonna step in front of his ADC just to secure his life. But Dipspit for Lube is still playing with fate as he continues to stay in that lane. That is a very low health bar to be playing with. Really riding on that sustain. It's
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like it's stopping, you know.
No, he's got the what's the item called? A Death's Toll, and he's got the tier 1 of Devo's gloves. So I guess if you got the sustain, stick with it. You know, I'm not gonna hate on it. If you're confident, you're confident. And Dipspit for Lube is definitely screaming confidence to me. But also confident is MIA on this Loki as he just invaded purple and green on the left side of the map, taking away Godzilla Frost's main source of XP, and also continues to take away farm on that side of the jungle. Dipspit for Lube still here and just throwing out the damage. Ultimate from Dipspit for Lube is going to come out just to make them back off even further. Tiny Giant feeling the pain of a tier Raven jumping on him, keeping him cooped up under that tower.
They just won't stop.
No, they don't. No, they won't. As MIA is desperate to find a kill here with the help of his team. And there's the ultimate that's going to come out, and it's a dash into the wall, and maybe now his life. As the ultimate from Karen comes out and is just off the mark.
Maybe they'll give you a break now, you know?
Maybe. I would like it. Whew.
You know, just have to slurp a gallon of water now just to rehydrate yourself.
Yeah. Well, I'm already dried out and I'm a little sick. We're dealing with it though, and we're here. Godzilla Frost doesn't have the same amount of sustain though as his partner Dipspit for Lube, so I'm surprised even more so that he's still here.
Yeah, gotta respect the, I don't know, hustle? No, that's not the right word. Considering he's playing Cherno, he could just back and all back in.
Yeah. Not quite Jingwei levels of get back to lane, but he does have a cooldown on that ability. But nonetheless, he chooses to walk back to lane at least. Brings tier 2 Devos with him. Britter's in some trouble, has to use the jump to get away from MIA. It's gonna probably make Britters stay under tower, knowing there's a jungle somewhere around here. Savashine needs an ultimate, though, from Britters. Probably deters the engagement even further. But now with those cooldowns down, potential for an engage onto this onto this Vibe Tribe mid laner once again. Look at this.
Yep. You know, honestly, smart play on him to just kind of keep invading, setting this turnabout behind. Where it's like, you know, last game they let him come back into this game.
Ooh.
That's criminal. He walked right into him actually, and
collision effects.
yep. Just kind of like, oh, what did I bump into? And it's like, you know, maybe there's something on the board that you could have ran into.
Ooh, speaking of collision effects, Samurai's throwing out the whole kit trying to do some damage. Frost is going to walk forward just to try and help out his jungle, but no damage connected, so he's going to go back to lane and start farming. Excuse me. He is really trying to find this kill.
Back again.
He never left.
Well, you know, he didn't show himself for a second. You know, just had to make him think he was gone.
Yeah. Finally gets the back off, and I mean, the mind games for Godzilla Frost has got to be. He's got to be on high alert at this point. You know, seeing Loki around his lane so much, he knows he's a target. He's also getting a lot of these invades on him. The farm is just getting away from him, and it's showing. I mean, Dipspit for Lube has a level up on him. He's got that kill. He's got that gold lead. Devo's Gloves is finished now for Dipspit. And a little bit of action here in mid lane as Lord Poseidon going to dive back under his tower just for safety. Loki ult's going to come out. Doesn't connect on anybody, but he's not really worried about the stun. He's now worried about his life. And Raw will find the first kill for Vibe Tribe. And it's going to go on to... It's going to hurt the jungle just a little bit. Ooh. I was ready for that to connect. I thought we were going to see the classic Thoth dash into ult.
Yeah, the classic maneuver, but instead, you know, Lord Poseidon kind of scared. Kind of tripping over our words there. Kind of scared to do it. So maybe like, doesn't feel too confident in his kill potential, or you now see the solo and duo. Kind of the reverse of like, hey, you're jungle game.
Wow. Beads are going to come out for Dipspit for Lube. Wasn't too sure what stance Tyr was in when that ultimate comes through. And even then, the slow is, no pun intended, crippling at worst.
Yep. At worst, it's crippling. At best, it's like, I'm dead.
As we see the jungle for Mystic Sea Serpents kind of going on a world tour here. Goes all the way across the left lane for another purple buff invade. They had to have seen him on that teleporter. I don't know if Godzilla Frost was maybe low on mana, if he was maybe just unsure of his ability to fight into the Loki. But another invade successful from MIA here. And Neptune, I gotta wonder now. It's not really transitioning into a heavy lead, especially since Samurai opted for that Transcendence approach rather than going the Jotun's route. So he's not getting any of that cooldown right now, considering the change has given that item more pin instead of cooldown. So does this Transcendence pickup really help him at all, or is this just some early damage now?
You know,
Oh. Ultimate does connect onto Lord Poseidon. A taunt from Savashine will keep Lord Poseidon safe for a moment. He is going to throw some damage back at his lane opponent. Doesn't quite connect anything. He's trying to charge up the ultimate, but cancels it last second. Realizing it was more likely better to save that and throw it out there. Loki ult's going to come through, and it does connect this time onto Britters. And now Raw had to use the ultimate just for the CC immunity. He will be able to escape, maybe. He does escape. He will be able to get out. And now Samurai's here. He's going to start throwing his own damage out. Lord Poseidon thinking about ulting again, but puts it back in his pocket as he sees Izakor's here. An ultimate from Godzilla Frost. He's going to get taunted towards that mid. He's got the ultimate charging. He does fire it off, but misses only by a hair. And now Savashine will fall for that small mistake, not without taking the enemy support with him, though. Lord Poseidon will clean that one up.
You couldn't even talk about what you wanted to before
No.
chaos ensued. I really just don't like you having talking points. I'm just saying it now.
No, conversation is not allowed in this game.
Yeah. But, I honestly think I just prefer going Jotuns into just Hydras into something else.
I personally feel like Transcendence is not worth it in the jungle anymore. With the changes to it, because the cooldown really is kind of what made that item a jungle item for so long. But now, with it transitioning to Pin, I could see a few maybe hyper carry style picks picking it up, like maybe your Serpents for that extra damage. But even then, you're still better off just getting Jotuns and getting that cooldown online. That's just maybe a personal thing. Beads comes out from Lord Poseidon just to make sure he doesn't get rooted. And the ultimate comes out from MIA to land onto Red Britters. He's trying to do the damage as fast as possible. Lord Poseidon dashes in, and it's a double kill. It's not a double kill, but it is 2 kills for the Mystic Sea Serpents, and that's going to confirm them this beacon. Maybe Izakor and Samurai are here, but they might not be able to stop this. Dash in from Izakor, and he's rooted into place. Going to take even more damage. Charging up the ult. He's trying to find a target, but everything got a little too far away from him. MIA is way too deep now and has to let that go. Really trying to get this mid tower. Ultimate's going to come out, and it is the stun this time. The root is going to keep Izakor from getting into a better position. Has to take the dash as he could. Does quite a bit of damage, but takes some of his own in the process. Karen ult does come through. Doesn't hit any targets, but spreads everyone out. Taunt just off the mark. Samurai is going to use the kickflip just to avoid any other forms of CC coming his way. And Spit for Lube walks away with just barely any mana to his name.
Oh.
And it looks like we do have another pause. Likely some more small technical issues. So while we get that sorted out, we're going to go ahead and transition over to a break. And whenever this is cleared up, we will be right back. Alright, and we're back from our short pause there, as it seems that all the players have gotten everything sorted out. And, well, so we were talking a little bit about the Mystic Sea Serpents just kind of having leads and everything, in every lane, really. I mean, it's not really showing. I mean, it's small leads in solo lane. It's a pretty big lead. And a blink from Izakor to get out of the River's Rebuke. Tiny Giant is here in the solo lane to match his opponent. Did Spit for Lube, just throwing some autos out there just to make sure he doesn't have to contend with anything. And here comes the ultimate from the Athena. Taunts in after the dash. Izakor gonna take some damage here. Has to use the ultimate just to get out of that situation. And now Kernabog is the next target. Takes way more damage than his solo lane friend. And Samurai's gonna come in just to clean up a little bit of this disengage and make sure that everyone gets out just fine. But now Loki goes straight back over to solo lane. He's gonna start farming up that side of the map. And what I want to know is, when are we going to start seeing some more objective play? Izakor's still over here, chasing Dipspit for Lube around the Gold Fury pit. And as I was asking about, I don't think they're going to let me talk to you at all. As Izakor dashes in, gets taunted, but doesn't get taunted. He gets the dash off to get away from the taunt. Karenol's going to come out, connects with a few targets, and actually the Riptide sends Dipspit for Lube straight into the arms of Ice Samurai, but he has to get out because the rest of that damage coming through was too much for him to handle. Godzilla Frost will find Tiny Giant. Dipspit for Lube has to dash away. And now, Savashine, he will be the next to fall. Dipspit for Lube only hanging on by a thread. It's a matter of time before the jungle finally catches up, but not without MIA finding his own kill here. Samurai gets the blink off and finds the kill onto the carry, and now it's a completely uncontested Gold Fury for Vibe Tribe. So I was asking about when we were going to see these objectives, and it looks like we're finally going to see the first objective fall in favor of Vibe Tribe, and continue to grow this, or continue to recuperate from this lead that they haven't really been able to combat against. The Loki jungle was just everywhere. Is there anything more that they can do to extend this lead? The team fights have been really going in their favor, so I'm curious what you think.
You know, kind of just grouping a little more, looking for more of these objective plays, pushing some towers down. You see that mid tower doesn't really have much. Well, I mean, Mystics has a lot, and Vibe Tribe's, looks more like a chess piece at this point than it does an actual tower.
Yeah. A painted base, if you will.
But, if you really want to extend your lead, you look more for the objective plays, you look more for the...
Like this.
Yeah.
Thothol is up, so they have a secure for this, but looks like they're going to drop it. Izakor over the wall. Rivers Rebuke is just off the mark. Actually gets tossed back into it. Oh, no. Savashine is on the same team. That's so confusing. Anyways, Rivers Rebuke does get used, and it's going to have to come down to a little bit more than just some ultimates, but it looks like the secure did go the way of the Mystic Sea Serpents, but now MIA low uses the beads, but it doesn't save his life, and Godzilla Frost will find another kill in this game, putting him up 3-1. Lord Poseidon going to take some damage from Godzilla Frost as well. Tries to dash in, but the Riptide catches him and doesn't let him go much further than that. Oh, blink and a whiff from Izakor. Would have been a great moment for setup there if they could have found that. A lot of poke coming out from Lord Poseidon. Not enough to stop them from getting this beacon. As Lord Poseidon has to step away. His team getting the ultimate out from Rawl. Savashine gonna get that taunt so Dipspit for Lube can continue to throw those auto attacks. Lord Poseidon staying in this one still as Izakor starts to make his way towards him. Ice Samurai is right there as well, and they're gonna look at Dipspit for Lube, but the dash comes out just to keep him alive a little longer, and they'll just turn their attention to Savashine instead, and Ice Samurai finds that kill onto the support, and Savashine is struggling to stay alive in these fights right now. Ultimates charging from Lord Poseidon. This fight in mid lane's still not over. Looks like Lord Poseidon's going to finally let this one go, but at the cost of his mid laner, he did get the tier 1 tower, does dodge out the Fearless, and with the help of MIA, he's going to be able to help his ADC get out of trouble. Oh, Samurai's here now. Lots of lockdown, and dash finally comes up off cooldown, maybe enough to get him out, and he does get out of trouble. Walks all the way around the tier 1 just to stay in a more safe position. Gonna resustain off the camp though. None of these fights can ever really seem to go clean after that first really big one from Vibe Tribe. They're very dirty engagements is what I'd call them. Very scrappy. Samurai going to take quite a bit of damage. Taunt back in. MIA tries to land the ultimate, but just off the mark there. Samurai has to use the ultimate. Doesn't use the ultimate for escape, actually. Uses it to re-engage and finds the kill onto MIA. Now Savashine has to use his dash to get out of trouble as Rawl makes his way over to the duo lane to help his team. And now taking the 1v1 up against the level 17 ADC with all this pin. I don't know if this is the fight that Raw wants. If Spitfirlube is actually going to back up closer to his tier 2 where it's potentially safer. Athena ult's coming through. Fearless is going to land. It's going to make Izakor take some of that damage. 2 comes out for the slow, connects onto targets. Izakor takes some burst, but now Samurai's just going to walk in. Beads, Aegis comes out. He's trapped in a corner because of the River's Rebuke, but still might be able to get out. Lord Poseidon does find a kill in mid. Tiny Giant also finds himself a kill on Samurai after having to chase that one down a little bit. And now it's 3 members of Vibe Tribe dead. We gotta hope for a Gold Fury here, right?
Your prayers have been answered.
Yes. A lot more objective play.
Yep.
This one's gonna burn down pretty quickly too. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, some of my favorite games that I've played in have been the lowest kill games. They're just... I don't know, something about the fact that I've been in games where it's been like 9 kills across the board.
Mm-hmm.
But a team has like 10k gold on it. Kinda nice.
That's fair. I can definitely agree with that. This, on the other hand, is not one of those games. 11 kills for both teams across the board. And it's pretty spread out between everybody. The main thing I got to point out here, though, is Lord Poseidon is 3-0-3, is yet to die in this high kill game. Oh, my question to you is, does Vibe Tribe need to shut this down? Or do you think they can win these fights just by simply ignoring him?
I think in some regards they can win them while ignoring him, but in some regards they can't.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a toss-up where it's like, you know, he's being very impactful and, you know...
Ooh. Mystic Sea Serpents able to secure the objective there. Spitfirlube decides to take the 1v1 against the jungler. It's trading heavily, and Spitfirlube will find the auto attacks necessary to take his life. And now it's an unfavorable fight for the Vibe Tribe. Ultimate comes out. Britters unfortunately dies to the red buff. And Izakor, running for his life, gets rooted. The CCR is keeping him alive for the moment. Ultimate did get charged, but it doesn't look like it's going to fire as MIA will clean that one up. And now the entirety of Mystic Sea Serpents are looking at the Fire Giant. Godzilla Frost is waiting over on the left side of the pit, looking for a good moment to walk in. Gonna try and maybe go for the steal here. Nobody's really looking at him except for Spitfirlube, who's low, and Godzilla Frost will take his life. And now the ultimate just off the mark, but the Mystic Sea Serpents still get the confirm on the objective. Tiny Giant trying to help his team get away. Godzilla Frost just walking around him, trying to find a more low health target. Something a bit more ideal, but it's not anywhere near him. Thoth already making his way past the speed buff with the help of his team. And it looks like Vibe Tribe are going to have to take the consolation prize, which is only a beacon. So now with Fire Giant around the waists of the Mystic Sea Serpents, is this a good time to just take out the last remaining T2s in this game? Maybe even try for a Phoenix Siege, or do you think a Phoenix Siege might be a little too risky for these guys? Neptune? Hello?
Yep. Oh, sorry. I kind of just like spaced out for a second.
Oh, it's no problem.
Discord issue. Um, but well, it kind of looks like points put in theory.
Yeah. It looks like we missed our opportunity there as Izakor taking some poke. Dipspit for Lude coming from the right side, throwing a bunch of autos straight towards the solo laner, and now the mid laner, and it's Red Britters that falls first in this fight. Rawl trying his best to help his teammates out. IDK MIA will find the kill on Rawl. Now, Tiny Giant going to keep the solo laner of Vibe Tribe busy as all 5 members of the Mythic Sea Serpents are searching for a way into this T2. And it looks like that's the go button. Dash gets canceled by the Riptide, unfortunately. Izakor just surviving a little bit longer, but MIA will get that last auto attack necessary. And now they're going to turn their attention over to Godzilla Frost. And the T2 does finally fall. And it looks like Phoenix is going to be the call. 2 members dead for 10 seconds at least. And it's going to be Godzilla Frost going down next. Tiny Giant has that attack speed buff for his entire team to make use of. And it's only Ice Samurai here to stop them. MIA shows up just to put out a little bit more damage onto the Phoenix. And it's a mid-Phoenix down for the Mystic Sea Serpents. Right, T2 looks like it's the next target.
Yeah, you know, gotta love when every play is to just full sweep everything on the map.
Gonna make use of that new store that has been added to the game here before they decide to make any other moves. Looks like Pyromancer is gonna be the call. Do you think it's worth it to fall back for Pyromancer, or is it better to just try and find another pick and find another siege?
You know, I think the pick into the siege worked for them, so I think they could just fall back on that.
True. Looks like 2 of the members of Vibe Tribe feel the same. Tiny Giant throwing out some damage. Meanwhile, Savashine trying to survive. And now it's Tiny Giant that most likely will be in some trouble. Savashine's going to use the ultimate as an escape tool. And they're going to let Tiny Giant walk away with this one.
It looks like it. You know, we haven't really been able to talk about builds because
the action. Yeah.
Just arena. We have Mannequin Scepter Yamoja.
Yeah.
That's I'm just gonna gloss over that and kind of just
well, I mean, it definitely seemed to have helped her in the laning phase. It's kind of hard to, I think no matter what character it is, trying to box someone with that item is very difficult for obvious reasons. But I will agree, it's a little different. And it looks like we have a disconnect from the support of the Mystic Sea Serpent. So we're going to go ahead and throw this one over to another quick break while we get this one sorted out. All right, and we're back from that short break. As it looks like all the players have made their way back into the game. And Fire Giant no longer around the wastes of Vibe Tribe. But it looks like Mystic Sea Serpents. But it looks like they're not really too concerned about it. And we're probably going to see another grouping for Fire coming up here soon if MIA doesn't get picked. Samurai, not really sure of where MIA ended up, so doesn't find him, on his search for the enemy jungle. Wards being placed.
Your Titan is
So now, with the wards out and the positioning we're seeing from most of the team of Mystic Sea Serpents. I mean, solo laners doing soloing things. Hey, I'm going to run up here and just kind of garner some attention. We got to go back to the talk about the confirm here. And Mystic Sea Serpents have done just so good in this game with everything. And, I mean, look at this. They're locking in Izakor, forcing an ult. That was probably your only steal potential on Vibe Tribe, was that ultimate right there.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Got the Karen ult, at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Karen can steal.
Actually, I'll take that back. Robin ult actually is probably their best form of steal if Britters doesn't get killed here. Trying to find the auto attacks. Dipspit for Lube is putting out the damage with the help of MIA, who used the ultimate. Kernabog has to use the ultimate, goes up into the air, but it's all about where he's going to land now. He's going to land right in front of Dipspit for Lube, who has the dash up. Dash comes out. Damage comes out from the auto attacks. Dipspit for Lube finds another kill. Now, 2 members, both backliners, and now Samurai throwing himself out there. Ultimate was getting charged, but it wasn't thrown out. As the rest of Mystic Sea Serpents move forward, Rawl, I was reading all of that name, Rawl, getting caught in a taunt, and Samurai has to use the 2 to avoid some damage. Ultimate goes through, and Ultimate connects, but it's Lord Poseidon who has to worry about his own life now. Finally gets the dash off of cooldown. He's going to be able to keep doing damage from afar. Rawl taking so much damage, so much poke. Savashine, no cares in the world as he tanks for his ADC to take this one down. Only 3 members up to defend this Titan. Ultimate's going to come out from Persephone, hits Dipspit for Lube, but the attack speed is so fast, and Red Britters is going to fall from the damage of the branching bolus and most likely the Odysseus bow. Now they're going to look for Rawl here. Kernabog is back off of respawn. MIA just trying his best to kill the enemy support. 50% health, but not without losing Savashine down to a quarter. They're going to commit to it. Frost is going to find a kill onto MIA, but it does not matter. We are going to a Game 3, and it's Mystic Sea Serpents with a Game 2 victory. So Neptune.
Oh, yeah, that was a game.
Well, we're going to give you the opportunity to finally have something to say in this game, and I got to ask the question: what do you think was the key to victory for Mystic here in this game too?
Honestly, I think it's MIA, their jungler. He's on this Loki, he was just everywhere. Like, yeah, you see Lord Poseidon's stat line of 5, 0, and 10, but 8, 6, and 9 on this Loki, where he's just kind of running around the map, taking farm, putting people behind. And then, every now and then you'd see him ult in mid, maybe ult in duo, where it's like, that Chernobog couldn't step out of his tower without fearing for a Loki. Tyr, well, it's Tyr. He doesn't care about a Loki. Tyr doesn't care.
True.
Tyr passive. But
true, yeah.
Kind of just, it was just Loki. And, looking at the lack of vision on this, I see 2 people with 0 wards, so you never know when Loki's coming.
Yeah, that's a tough situation to be in. Even still, Godzilla Frost coming out, 17k player damage. This was a pretty low player damage game. We're going to ignore the X-Ball damage because that's kind of nuts compared to the rest of his team's damage. But 7, 3, and 4 is the final scoreline for that ADC. But 7, 2, and 11 is a much better scoreline. And I'm still going to agree with you, by the way. The MIA definitely seems to be the linchpin of this team. Even if he's not the one going undying like Poseidon, or if he's not putting up the top player damage numbers, he's being a playmaker by simply just pressing the buttons on the enemy team and setting up for somebody. And I think that is more than you can ask for from a jungler sometimes. Usually they play pretty selfish. I mean, dadgum junglers, But no, MIA definitely doing a pretty good job. Tiny Giant also surprising me with how well he's playing these Guardian solos. And I'm curious as to see what these teams do to try and bring this Game 3 to a victory for themselves and call this set a win. We'll find out who that is after this break.
Righty, welcome back. It's still me, Daddy Neptune, and still Freaky.
Mm-hmm.
Freaky kind
I'm
of
right here.
losing his voice after game 2, where having to just constantly talk. Well, we wait for these picks and bans to come in. Game 2, a turning point. Mental's kind of coming back. Maybe mental shot now.
Oh, yeah.
Losing up 1-0, where you just got to win one more game. Kind of, I always get sad.
Oh, yeah. No one
There's-
likes to play 3 games.
Oh yeah,
It's great to watch.
Yeah, when you have that bedtime in place for work in the morning, it's like, no game 3, please. But, seeing these first bands come out, we got Cuckoo Khan, coming out from Vibe Tribe, Mystic Secrets, coming out and banning the Osiris. Following that, Vibe Tribe gonna ban Hachi. Pretty stereotypical standard bans right now. And then we're gonna see the Thanatos come out, respecting Samurai's Thanatos. That's kind of got to feed his ego a little.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And we got to get rid of these picks anyways. We saw the Thanatos do such a good job. We saw the X-Ball do such a good job. And the double ADC ban is perfectly
Athena.
understandable from the Vibe Tribe here. I mean, Div Spit for Loop has not been able to be slowed down.
Yeah. Of course, the whale going to get banned. But first pick going to be that Athena taking it away from Mystic Sea Serpents.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're going to see the Dharmic Pillars hovered along with this Ao Kwang
Ganesh.
hovered.
Ao
And it's going to be the
Kwang.
Ganesha lock. And it's going to be the Ao Kwang lock. You've got 2 of the easiest supports and 2 of the best supports in the game right now. And it's like, okay, hopefully it's not Ganesha solo. That's step 1.
Yeah. And see, I was gonna make the point that I'm not gonna be surprised this time around if this is a Ganesha solo. We've seen him play 2 Guardians in that lane now, so I mean, keep that rolling. It seems to work. I'm not complaining about it.
Yeah, and it's not even just like any Guardians; it's support S
Hera,
Guardians, which
your
Tiny
queen.
Giant being a support main. But here we're
You
gonna
gotta
see
fill in.
Yep, we gotta gonna see the Sun Wukong and Hera. Hera, I feel like Hera's not in the best of spots right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of very immobile against a lot of these very mobile ADCs, junglers, even solos that just
Ishtar.
chase you across the map. And we're gonna see the Ishtar lock, which ban Hachi. I'll just take Ishtar.
Mm-hmm. No, I mean, it's a great answer.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you have that ranged auto still, not quite to the length of Hachi across the map, but close enough, right?
Oh, for sure. And like you said, you can't ban them all. There's 130 gods in the game right now. Maybe I'm overshooting it. Maybe I'm not. I'm not entirely sure anymore. I don't keep track like I used to. But 130 some odd game or gods in the game now. You only get 10 bans. You're not going to get rid of all of them. But I think some of these bans from Vibe Tribe are the right answer. This Thoth ban certainly speaks to me.
See the on her Thor ban, Thor. I love me some Thor,
Oh yeah, and it's
it's over.
Oh yeah, and it's a definite respect too, because Samurai, while having his struggles, has certainly been able to make a point to be a strong jungler in the league right now.
Cannot disagree with that point at all. As we wait for these last 2 picks coming out from each team, I'm kind of curious what Sea Serpents are going to round out their draft, and I'm kind of curious what Vibe Tribe's going to round out their draft with. They locked the Ao Kwang. Are they going to go back to that double Hunter lane? And
We might have your answer.
yeah, we might with this Chernobog hover.
Chernobog.
If it's locked in, I would really expect that to go mid.
Yep.
And that means we're still waiting on a solo lane pick or support pick. We're not sure yet. That's the beauty of what we've seen from Mystic Sea Serpents so far. But this Medusa hover, I actually really like it. I think Medusa is a little
Medusa.
undervalued as of late, as her role in her role as an ADC.
Yep. I like Medusa, very good team fight ultimate, very good, just pressure, especially being able to just hutta on a wave and the backline as well. And then we are going to see the Charon as well. Again, Charon, solid support.
You can't go wrong.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
look at that. Now, this is something. If this is a Tiny Giant pick, I am loving it more than the last two. If this is a Tiny Giant solo pick, this is going to look fantastic compared to the other two Guardians because not only will be able to facilitate for his team the way he has in that role with the Guardian selections, but he'll actually be able to put out quite a bit more damage with this.
Yep. I love Kumbhakarna. I really do. Whenever I get to play Kumbhakarna, I'm just unhinged. Discord calls that I've been in have quoted me cackling. Maybe. He's really just playing with my heart right now. The RDO hover instead. I've played RDO support a while ago, and there's a Twitch clip somewhere for a different league where I turned around, watched my backline dive, and still dove the fountain.
Huh.
Yeah. He was too far away from me. I wasn't about to walk. But
it looks like we got our final lock in.
Yep, Xing Chen. Just playing with my heart more, just giving me a showing of just my favorite supports. Xing Chen.
Yeah.
Those Invon frames just make him such a menace.
Oh yeah.
And
this is by far probably the best. If this is solo lane, this is by far the best solo pick they could have went for, if they're staying true to that Guardian solo playstyle.
Yep. I cannot disagree with you there. I do think if it is solo, he'll excel. But
Yeah. Oh no, go ahead.
Could be Ganesha.
Could be Ganesha. It could be the elephant solo lane, and I don't hate that either. This is one of the few times the passive aside on Ganesh where I think both of these solo guardians would perform about the same in the solo lane, and so I'm kind of curious and hopeful to see what they bring to the table on the Mystic Sea Serpents. All right. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, we are back. And first thing I got to point out here, man, it's Athena solo or Athena jungle for Ice Samurai, and Brawl is once again back on this Charon, and I think this is the third game in a row we're seeing him on Charon now.
Yeah, I don't hate it. He's been doing pretty good on this Charon. Not really the one kind of to say, if you were gonna blame someone, I don't think you're looking at Raw on this Charon at all. That being said, Athena jungle, been a minute since I've seen her, but I love seeing it. A little bit of tips and tricks, but if your ADC pulls green and your support pulls purple, you can get a little bit faster lane. So you can get
really.
Yep. So you have potential to steal if you have a high clear. So it's like if you want to go for that steal set that your lane opponent behind, you can just have your ADC start it with green, and as the supports start purple, and you just kind of get to drag it closer to lane.
Something I didn't even really know. So you learn something new every day, and I just learned something here on the cast.
Yeah.
But as we keep looking over these compositions, we did also get our answer on the solo lane pick. It is not Ganesh, which I feel like you're probably happy about.
You know, I can't sit. I don't know if I'm happy or disappointed right now. You know, maybe I was a little standing for the tiny giant Ganesha.
Oh. Mid lane, trading.
Yep.
Lots of pressure being put on in the duo lane, by the way. That Medusa Charon showing how much pressure it can put out.
Yep. You know that. Oh, and gonna be a first blood actually for Godzilla. Maybe he gets the double here. Kind of getting a little greedy for it.
Ooh.
But he's not gonna get it. I'm kind of sad. You know.
Those snake shots were coming through, but it didn't land. He didn't land the second one, unfortunately, so
Yeah.
not getting that kill just yet. But, I mean, still putting out insane amounts of pressure.
Yep. You know, kind of a reverse from what we've seen on the usual script of, you know, Vibe Tribe not having, Vibe Tribe having all the lane pressure and Sea Serpents kind of on the back foot under their own T1. But it's kind of the reverse now, you know. Vibe Tribe under their T1 kind of feeling a little oppressed by this Charon. But that being said, you know, it kind of does let yourself be open to being ganked. Leave your young. MIA wants to look for something a little spicy to start the game. Could look to that duo side, you know, where they have the pressure, or could look to the solo side where, you know.
Oh, by the way, I was informed that her name is, it's a female. Her name is Mia. That is Mia, not MIA.
Okay. Mia.
So learned something during the break there, and we'll get back to Mia here in a second as Raw has to use the dash to get away. Kind of cutting it close there with the damage coming out from this duo lane, and now it's Godzilla Frost that's getting some of that attention sent over his way.
Yeah, Ganesha gonna look to possibly set something up, but that being said, Ganesha out of bounds, so I don't think there's gonna be much follow-up. You know, Medusa's still very healthy versus this duo side.
And so much easy poke, so much confirmable damage as well.
Yep. Kind of just a problem. Mia gonna get looked at by Samurai, so maybe this could be a kill. I think Mia wins this 1v1, but Ralts wins that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Raul takes a double kill. If I'm a support, I'm like, here, hop in the pack. We're going. Follow me. Getting 2 kills early on your support, especially on a heavy dive support like Charon. Izakor gonna look for this and not gonna get it. Mia gonna take it away.
Mia's gonna, yeah.
I'm sad if I'm Wukong.
Yeah. He had the mana. I wonder if the 1 maybe was on cooldown or if the 2. Any ability there to confirm would probably have helped out quite a bit, but maybe a little bit concerned about the damage output from Mia as well, even though he was a couple levels up on her. You know, we'll never know the real answer, but the blue buff steal is great for them either way because Wukong, one of those gods that really needs that blue buff to stay relevant.
Oh yeah, especially when he's going for, you know, looks like maybe a Jotun's, and it is a Jotun's right as he bought it. So, you know, going for that early cooldown, that's what, 20% early, I think, is what Jotun's has? Yep. Damn, I know my items. That's,
oh yeah.
You know, 20% cooldown early, but hold that thought.
Ooh, Mia getting a little active in the duo lane. Not able to find anything, unfortunately, but a good effort nonetheless.
Yep. Maybe she'll be back for more, you know? But speaking of back for more, look who's on this side of the jungle as well. Cena having that ult available could spell trouble for this.
It's going to be an interesting one as the silence is on cooldown. Dharmic Pillars comes out, but his Spit for Lube got a whiff of something and backed up off that engagement. Stun's going to come out from Dip Spit for Lube as well to slow down any more potential engage. Samurai still walking forward. Double taunt. And Medusol's going to come through. No beads available for the support. Nice Samurai will get that last hit that he was looking for. Give him his first kill of this game.
Beautiful ult there from Godzilla to just go, yeah, one of you is dying, and I have a gut feeling I know who. You know, if you want to set a support behind early is the way to do it. You know, we don't have those tank stats fully online yet. We kind of get those with items and levels, so very easy pickings to just kill someone with no beads and no CC immunity in their kit as well either. And
Critters taking a little bit of damage just trying to clear wave right now.
And the effective no blue buff kind of being shown on Izakor as well, kind of like not able to really get much going.
Oh, the stray auto attack makes its way through and finds the kill for Lord Poseidon, who now picks up his first kill of the game and the first kill for Mystic Sea Serpents.
Yeah. The duo lane experience kind of flipped on its head, but mid lane's still the same as it was been or has been these past few games. Close.
Trying so hard to find it, and he will find it. She will find it, excuse me. Lands down on the speed as well. Gonna try and sustain up over here. Oh, no, wait. He doesn't have any sustain. Oh, no.
Yep. that is one reason why I go the Boombas over the eye. You know, you don't have that sustain. If Samurai goes and looks into his own jungle, he could find a kill. Never mind. Guess who did find a kill?
Godzilla has really flipped the script in this duo lane, by the way. Because it went from Dip Spit for Lube, just pushing and shoving and keeping Godzilla, you know, under threat the entire time. And now, Game 3, it looks like Godzilla Frost is just over it. He's not dealing with it anymore. And said, nah, I'm winning the 1v1s now. And, I mean, he's up 2-0 right now. You can't ask for a better situation to be in. Had to use the ult to do it, but, I mean, for a kill, I don't think you're complaining.
No, he's kind of... Godzilla's really just pushing himself down, and it's like, you know, you've had your jungler over here time and time again. Well,
in no time.
Oh, that could not have been more poetic timing. As this could be a kill for Mia.
Trying to line up, see if they can block the dash. Mia walking forward. Frost knows he's got to find a way out. Trying to find one. That's going to keep him from he's going to make him use the beads. He's not going to be able to get the dash up in time. Athena is on the way. Is she going to be able to get there in time? And he is. Mia takes a tower shot. Dodges the dash. Oh, starts walking towards the safety of her own tower. Excuse me. It's going to take a little bit to break that habit. But is safe nonetheless. Waiting on those cooldowns.
Having those Guardian base stats kind of... Oh, speaking of players...
Oh. Doesn't get to eat.
Speaking of which, if we look inside this purple buff, someone who has the purple buff robbed 1 point.
Yeah, just another invaded buff there, and it's even with these kills, these little victories for Mia and for the Mystic Sea Serpents are going to be fantastic. It's Izakor going to be able to confirm his blue buff again. He was able to get the last one, I believe. Last few, actually, I should say. He only missed out on the one, and but it looks like that was enough for Tiny Giant to stay sustained up.
Just a little too late, you know, kind of scenario where it's like, ooh, close but no cigar. As we do look once more to maybe, if I'm Mystic, I'm looking on Godzilla Frost to just kind of make the impact of this game.
Yeah, he definitely is the one I'm looking towards. Ultimate's going to come out for Dip Spit for Lou, but he has no mana now. Turns around for the ultimate, but the slow is still taking effect. Auto attacks are hitting home right now from Godzilla Frost. Now they start to trade. He's the one that actually has to make the return. Dashes in towards the tower, though. Almost ate a tower shot that might have gotten him killed. Tiny Giant took the teleporter, and he's going to come over just to try and help get this kill. Probably won't be able to confirm. Karen Ult did connect, and that's going to slow down the engagement. Now it's 4 members. Taunt got interrupted, it looks like. Ultimate's going to come through. They are going to find the kill on a Ditspit under the tower, and it's Rawl tanking it up. Dharmic Pillars comes out, locks in 2 members. Izakor in the sky. Lord Poseidon, meanwhile, finds a kill in the mid lane. Savashine trying his best with his solo laners. Lord Poseidon comes over with the ultimate, dashes through, and connects on both times onto Eye Samurai. They're trying to find anything, and it's a chomp from Mia up into the sky, looking for that kill onto Samurai. Now, not going to be able to find it, it looks like, so they're going to turn their attention over to Eye Samurai, trying to keep him from running. A 4-man taunt, though, might be what it takes to save his life. Is he going to be able to make it out? No. Tiny Giant will get the kill with the tick off the 1.
This is I don't really know what to say at this moment where it's like, you know,
I'd have to say, I think that was a very well drawn out team fight from Vibe Tribe there.
Yep. Very well executed, you know. Godzilla Frost living there kind of like, ooh, you know, didn't get the shutdown on him. But you know what they are looking at is possibly this Gold 3. Or, nope, it's the Gold 3. I thought they were looking at the purple for a second. I was like, oh, a buff?
I would much rather see the Gold Fury call. Tiny Giant can't tank for that long, so Mia will step in. And now the entire team of Mystic Sea Serpents is here. Colonel's going to come through, isn't going to be enough to steal, but might be some damage needed. Ultimate comes out from Dipspit Baloob as well to slow down the engagement. Tiny Giant's not giving it up yet, though. He's going to find an ult, takes a lot of damage from the other ultimates that are hitting him in the back. Izakor will find the kill onto Tiny Giant. Now they're going to turn their attention to the rest of the Mystic Sea Serpents. And Mia's the first target. Samurai will get the last hit on the dash. Dharmic Pillars just to keep some of the members locked in. And Savashine will trade his life for the rest of his team.
Talking about well-executed team fights, right on the back, Mystic Sea Serpents recognizing, hey, you guys took a lot of damage from that. And good on Britters to, you know, cap the beacon while this is all happening to kind of get some more tower pokes down.
Mm-hmm.
Getting maybe some early tower looks too. And, you know, again, I'm still looking at Godzilla Frost on Sea Serpents, but...
Yeah. Unfortunately, Britters does lose their life in the middle lane. Once again, Lord Poseidon really putting the pressure on right now.
Yeah, I will say Lord Poseidon kind of just dominating Britters over and over. And you can kind of see that script in that player damage chart where he's not able
unfortunately
to
sitting at the bottom. It's a rough life out here, and I think that's another one of those things that we see get talked about a lot when these mids are starting to, the mages, I should say. The mages start to fall out of favor, and you start seeing the ADCs kind of start taking up that slot in the mid. There's that pressure that an ADC has. As the dash actually connects, lands the 1, lands the 2, lands the ultimate, and it's another solo kill for Frost in the dual lane, and that's probably going to be a tier 1 tower down. Izakor fighting for his own life. Samurai is going to use the ultimate to help Izakor. What a massive amount of damage off of that Defender of Olympus to take down Mia. That had to have been a Gem of ISO proc. Did I say that wrong? I said Gem of ISO. I meant to say, I don't even remember it now. No, the other one. Soul Gem. Yes, that one. Yes, it had to have been a Soul Gem proc. E-Staff proc 2. Savashine also in trouble. Will go down. Izakor going to get that 1 connecting. And now going to dive. Lord Poseidon taking 3-4 tower shots. Lord Poseidon cannot let this go. Ultimate just barely off the mark from Dipspit Baloo, but it doesn't matter because it's just enough to distract him for the auto attacks from Lord Poseidon to take it.
You know, that kind of was just a clear, just over-aggression play on his part. We're all looking like, hey, maybe we back out here, and looking like the hitters just did not recognize that, so probably going to follow Chew down there.
Yep. Britter's just getting dove under tower. Tiny Giant trying his best to keep Rawl busy as well. Looks like they're going to try and find another kill. Samurai going to be able to distract the team, and Tiny Giant just off the mark with his own ultimate.
Kinda. But if you look, the T2 on 5 Tribe just got taken.
It did.
Samurai.
That was just another hard push.
Yep. Yeah, definitely just have to look to this, this duo lane and this solo lane for the Mystic Sea Serpents. Really just putting in work. Can't discredit really anyone on this team much. But we are gonna. Maybe the nope. Never mind. Cancel that. Looks like they're just going back at it.
Dip spit for lube on the engagement. Rawl is going to use the ultimate to try and help his team. Dip spit for lube gets taken down by Izakor. Savashine throws out the silence to deter any aggression. Has to turn her back around though to keep running, and she's going to get taunted back into the entire team. Takes quite a bit of damage, but Tiny Giant helps out his support once again. But the ultimate does connect, but looks like the base CCR was able to keep Savashine from falling there.
When you max stack someone's CCR, that's your prime example right there. And Tower.
Oh no!
Well,
Tower goes down, but at the cost of Rawl's life.
Just overestimating how tanky you are and overestimating how tanky you are, underestimating the tower damage, There's always the joke of towers, deal too little damage to people, and then when you're diving them, they take it like a truck, and well, it was that scenario every time. And
Ritters going down again, had to use the ultimate there. Izakor gonna try and help his mid, but looks like he just put himself in a position to die now, trying to throw in some damage. Little bit of health came back from that Jotun's Wrath transformation into Jotun's Vigor, but not enough to keep him alive. So now it's 2 for the price of none. Meanwhile, Godzilla Frost, the person that we said we are going to be keeping an eye on in this game, just shoved it down right.
Yeah, but it looks like
pick up Jimmy. I'm sorry. Pick up Jimmy. Don't leave the man hanging.
That I have ulted people for Jimmy. I am not afraid to. Yeah, I have thrown hands for Jimmy. I have died for Jimmy. I have ulted for Jimmy. I have done everything for that.
I would kill for Jimmy.
Yeah, honestly, I have.
Anyways, ultimate comes out from Rawl. It's not going to stop this T2 tower from falling.
But he takes another T2 in response.
Exactly. It is none other than Godzilla Frost. Ultimate though comes out, and Godzilla lands the ultimate here. Aegis has to get used from Lord Poseidon. Dash off the mark. And Lord Poseidon will live to see another day, but it does not stop. It does not change the fact that Relics had to be burned to survive that rotation for himself. Dead Spit for Lube getting locked down over here by the Gold Fury pit. All of the Mystic Sea Serpents are around this Gold Fury right now. Izakor steps up a little too far once again, has to use the ultimate. Dharmic Pillars comes out. He goes up into the air just in time, jumps over the entire pit. They're trying to find a kill onto Tiny Giant. Ultimate comes out from Tiny Giant, though, and throws them back into the mid lane as the entirety of the team walks forward and gets 3-man taunted by Ice Samurai. A fantastic play. Dip spit for Lube, taking so much damage. Tiger Stance is off the mark. Mia picks up Rawl and going to land somewhere to help his team find another kill. Izakor is the next target. Fantastic dash is going to connect. Izakor hanging on by a thread, and Lord Poseidon will find the kill with his 2.
Fantastic taunt attempt by Samurai, but just not able to get his front line out. It's a little too late type of where it's like, oh, maybe I can tank a little more damage, but not recognizing that he will literally get blown up. And speaking of not recognizing damage, Tiny Giant almost falling to just Medusa just shredding his bar.
I mean, looking at the build from Tiny Giant, we've got that aura build coming from him again, which is the standard that we've seen from him in this entire set. And Sovereignty just doesn't provide that much protections anymore. They've really, in my opinion, I would say they've neutered the item. It makes it really hard to want to build it when you're just not getting enough prots for yourself by building the item.
Yeah, the fact that, most Guardians are just hurting for cooldowns. You want those low cooldowns anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Only having 20% from that Pridwin, which I'm curious about what he's going to upgrade into. Probably going to be a Glorious, because no one really likes Reverberant, except for Ganesha, apparently.
reverent in the idea of if I need to be really tanky.
Yeah.
If I'm just trying to add those tank stats, but if I'm building it in any other role, even if I have to build it, say in jungle, yeah, I'm going for Glorious Prudwin every single time. But I think Reverent gets overlooked a lot just for the pure damage potential that Glorious can offer. But Pyromancer's getting pulled. Vibe Tribe, or Mystic Sea Serpents, able to secure that one.
Speaking of which, if you look on the other side, there's just fights happening on both sides.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Izakor in trouble here. Samurai finds Mia. Ultimate's going to come out from Britters to try and make this engagement go a little bit more favorably. Tiny Giant getting jumped on by Izakor now. Dharmic Pillars does come out. Prudwin Shield's going to keep her from taking any more damage as she looks for a re-engage, but the health bars are way more in favor of Vibe Tribe. Tiny Giant's going to get polymorphed here, and they're going to jump at the chance at weak prey as he gets destroyed in his own jungle. One connects, but not quite enough damage. Waiting on cooldowns. The slow from Lord Poseidon may be enough to save his life. Izakor dashing in. Not enough damage from the two. Frost tries to turn around the 2v1, but is unable to. Diving is still happening as Samurai is going to find the kill onto Sabashine under the Phoenix. And that's going to probably end that engagement entirely, which I got to point out, Phoenix on left side is very weak.
Yep. Cherno's ult did get forced out by Godzilla just for the fact that he was pushing down that side, just knocking on the base door. And I think if Godzilla gets that Phoenix,
Mia's here.
Yep.
Blink had to come out from Samurai. Ultimate is within ult range of Mia. Has to be very careful here. Looks like they're going to continue to take this favorable positioning around the Fire Giant now. And I think this might be the call from the Mystic Sea Serpents. We need to get this FG. That's what they're saying right now. No team really has a major lead in any particular lane, it looks like, except in mid, where the lead is massive.
What? 6 levels?
6 level difference. And it's showing in these team fights. I haven't seen a Hera ult hit very hard at all.
Yeah.
Even on a squishy target. I don't know about you, but in my opinion, Mystic Sea Serpents need to come together and say, hey, we really got to get our mid some farm. It looks like they're actually going to take this fight. Samurai tries to move forward, but instead gets silenced by Ganesh, slowing down the engagement. Goes in. Dash is going to keep Dipspit for Lube safe, but only for a moment as the rest of the team comes behind, and Godzilla Frost hits a massive ultimate onto the entire team of the Mystic Sea Serpents. Izakor is going to land down onto a target. Mia running for her life, but Samurai will find that kill. Tiny Giant fighting against 3 members of Vibe Tribe jumps over the Tiger stance, but he's walking right into the waiting arms of Samurai. Mystic Sea Serpents are going to try and find a way to get him out, and the taunt is going to pull both members back in. Sabashine now in trouble, can't find a way out, doesn't know where to go, doesn't have anywhere to go, and Godzilla Frost picks up a triple kill and starts a killing spree.
That's honestly that, and if you look, who wasn't in that fight? That Hera. So honestly, Mystic Sea Serpents took a 4v5 and came out on top. I think that more just says of what's going on in this game, of like who's kind of dominating, at least team fight wise. But it's not always the story when it comes down to who wins the game. At the end of the day, one good team fight could flip the script.
And I mean, Mystic Sea Serpents have to be really careful. Their Phoenix is super low right now over on the left-hand side. It still hasn't fully recovered from that split push attempt from Godzilla Frost.
You mean?
No. The names are backwards right now.
I was like, I was real confused. I was like, wait a minute.
It screwed me up at the beginning, but the teams are flipped. Just like I said, it's a late one, guys. We're doing our best here, but we can't be expected to make to fix all the mistakes.
Yep.
Anyways, Oni Fury does go the way of Vibe Tribe. And it looks like Godzilla Frost may try to use this Oni wave to his advantage. Pyromancer is getting pulled by Mystic Sea Serpents right now. Will be taken by Mystic Sea Serpents as well, giving them that bomb in pocket and looking over items and where they're at right now. It looks like 2 bombs sitting in the pocket of Vibe Tribe versus 1 bomb in the pocket of the Mystic of the. I did it again. Vibe Tribe has 1. Mystic Sea Serpents have 2. So looks like we got to pause here, and we're gonna take a quick break while we figure out what exactly. Well, we won't be able to figure it out, but we're gonna take a quick break either way. All right, we're back after fixing a few minor issues here. But as we watch these teams kind of posture up, we're seeing them both set up around the Fire Giant once again. Be the second Fire Giant of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I kind of lost track. I'm not going to lie. But either way, it's going to be a Fire Giant posture. And Izakor is really deep right now, only has the help of his support. Tiny Giant's going to throw the support back towards the Fire Giant pit just to help his team out a little bit. Izakor just throwing out some damage. Did Spit for Lube, going to throw out the ultimate as well. And now that's 2 ultimates down. 2 massive ultimates as well for no relics so far. Lots of poke, and Izakor knocked down to half health, going to get rooted. The crit on the Tiny Giant was massive, though, and just getting hit in the back. Godzilla Frost really is hammering it home for his team on the help of Samurai as well, who gets a 3-man taunt. Sabashine's going to throw out the Dharmic Pillars, and it's going to nullify the engagement, but not before Dead Spit for Lube goes down to Godzilla Frost. This is the person we said to watch out for as the engagement splits off. Izakor is in trouble. Godzilla Frost is going to find himself another kill. Ultimate is going to land, and it's going to take out Sabashine and its 3 members of the Mystic Sea Serpents in the grayscale.
Holy, Godzilla Frost kind of just putting on a clinic on this Medusa right now. Kind of like, And this Hera has just been farming. I think every single team fight we've had so far. No discredit to her, but she's slowly closing that level deficit from, 6 levels earlier to now just 5.
Yeah, she's bringing it back. It's going to take some time. It's a large level lead, but it's not unmanageable. I think honestly, when this Hera gets caught up, we're gonna see a much better team fights for the Sea Serpents.
Yeah, player 6 will get involved, and honestly, player 6 when it's even or ahead, I fear for the effect on the backline of this Vibe Tribe, even the front line.
Mm-hmm.
Argus having the effect of, I think late game he's got 4,000 HP or something.
Oh yeah, he's ridiculous, and that's where the joke always comes from. It's not Hera that's playing the game. That's Argus that's playing the game.
Exactly.
So, but either way, I mean, Mystic Vibe Tribe is still the ones holding on to a very dominant lead. They have these Fire Giant belts around their waist. So they go. I think it'd be a good time to try and look for this last tier 2 tower. But we're gonna look at Gold Fury instead. Maybe Izakor putting a ward down, but he's all alone. And if the Mystic Sea Serpents noticed this, I think they did, but it's a Sun Wukong. He's not the easiest person to put down.
No. really just one of the safest solo laners you can go and play. It's like, I don't want to have to worry about a lot of things, and Bitter is going to be the target of aggression. But
Oh,
Argus dealing so much right now.
and here comes the Karen ult. Gonna make Mia turn back around towards the enemy. Dipspit for Lube will find the first kill, though, on the Britters. Now the rest of Vibe Tribe going to be raging forward to try and avenge their mid laner. Mia is out of the fight, and a fantastic 3-man ult from Tiny Giant is going to kill this engagement altogether. But it's not going to, it's maybe actually just slows it down instead. Tiny Giant trying to slow down the Eye Samurai here. Raul going to take quite a bit of damage. Double ADC comp doing its best right now as Mia rejoins the fight. Izakor has to use the bull stance. Crits are raining through, and Tiny Giant has to back up for this one. Dipspit for Lube comes out with the Aegis, and Godzilla Frost is so low, finally falls down for the second time in this game. Mia, she's low as well, but she's still trying to find that kill. Just needs to land the ultimate, but can't really get to it. Never mind, you don't need it. Dipspit for Lube's got the auto attacks, and they're going to run it down mid.
It's just back and forth.
Yeah, and these guys, it's back and forth in fights. It's back and forth throughout this game. Neither team is willing to give up any ground, and they'll fight every inch for it, even if it's not exactly favorable for them. Raul is back off of respawn, though, trying his best to block the auto attacks of one ADC, but he forgot that there were two of them. Gets rooted in place. He just can't do enough, and a pause comes out once again.
I think that's past the pause, and that's just straight up combat.
And we're going to go ahead and take this one over to another quick break while we sort this one out, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, and we're right back to the action, and we're going to pick up just about exactly where we left off, and that's where Raul was about to lose his life trying to defend his team's middle Phoenix. Ultimate's going to stun him but not take his life, and it's going to be a chance to reset for the Mystic Sea Serpents. The first Phoenix of the game does finally fall, and it's the Mystic Sea Serpents that take it, and it's just a great team fight that really sets that up for themselves.
Yeah, it's honestly, I think it's just gonna come down to really just positioning that's gonna determine where this game ends, because it's been so back and forth so far. The gold deficit. I think this has been the lowest, like, just gold deficit on either team this entire set.
Mm-hmm. So
And,
close.
Just the gold chart just says it all. You can't choose.
No. And with this back and forth and fair in mind, I've got to point out, by the way, the team that had Fire Giant in that fight was the team that lost that fight.
In that regard, I think just I think it was stock FG, so they really didn't have EFG. So
Dipspit for Lube's in quite a bit of trouble. Eats an ultimate as well, and the dot damage from the Medusa 1 is going to take his life. Ultimate has to come out from Kernabog just to buy himself some time. But where is he going to land? He's going to land far, far away and kill the Hera. And that means Lord Poseidon does get to live to fight another battle.
Yeah, and now the target of aggression from this Wukong going to be Mia, but instead she just slinks back to the jungle.
Tried to get that split push going, take that left side Phoenix, but gets caught out. And, I mean, probably for the best. You can't afford to lose another Phoenix if you're Vibe Tribe right now. Looks like Fire Giant is going to be the next point of attention for Mystic Sea Serpents. It finally spawns, and this is not just your regular fire giant. No, sirree. This is a EFG. We are looking at is the Mystic Sea Serpents line up as a full 5-man squad. Tiny Giant bringing up the rear on his way. Ultimate's going to come out onto the Izakor. They're going to land right in front of Lord Poseidon. That's the target. Tiny Giant shows up just in time to be helpful for his team with a massive ultimate onto both the tanks. Well, I say both the tanks. That's the jungler, Ice Samurai, taking way more damage than he bargained for. But what it does do is it knocks them off of the fire giant, and now the Mystic Sea Serpents have to do a full reset, but they're finding the poke right now. Queen Samurai actually goes back in, and he's going down. Yep, Spitfire does lose the ultimate. He's low, trying to fight off the Sun Wukong, but he's surrounded by 5 members. You don't ever get to fight just one guy in this situation, and now Frost is the new engagement. They do lose Dips for Lube to a Karen ult, but I don't think they're worried about it because they still have an ADC up, and I think this Fire Giant's going down now.
You know, I would say that, but Wukong, if he just resets, has the TP available.
Has it available, and the damage is not coming out very quickly if he does it as soon as possible. Down to a quarter health. He's now TP'd in. Going to see Tiny Giant flying out of the Fire Giant pit. Going to walk into the Fire Giant pit as well. Tries to get the steal, and it's the Mystic Sea Serpents that take it away. Lord Poseidon, though, is not done fighting. He's going to keep throwing those auto attacks and be able to help his team disengage. And I just got to point this out. 11-0-8. That's the scoreline for Lord Poseidon. We've been talking about how in every game goes undying or only dies 1, maybe 2 times, and has been a focal point for his team in every single game. And I think he just really is sending it right now. And losing your mid to the red buff is going to make this defense so much more difficult.
Yeah, I can agree with that. You know, losing player 6 and player 5 at the same time kind of just puts a detriment on your base defense, you know?
Mm-hmm. We're going to see what Mystic Sea Serpents choose to do, and I think they've made their choice at this point. And agree with me if or not. You know, tell me how you feel. Do you take this fight at Phoenix, or do you try to find this fight outside of your base and just pray that you make the right decisions in these team fights?
You know, in this exact scenario, I'm taking it in Phoenix. They have EFG. It's like I definitely am just like, you guys can have the Primal Fury. It's not Oni Fury. I'm not worried about that. I don't.
And it's the Mystic Sea Serpents that are going to pick it up, and this has turned into an actual fight. Godzilla Frost trying to just create some distance. Dead Spit for Lube does get taunted back in, but the ultimate from Tiny Giant is going to keep his ADC alive once again. Tiny Giant has done a really great job of peeling for his team, but Ice Samurai will find his way into the back line and take down Mia. Lord Poseidon will find Ice Samurai in response. Izakor is going to follow in suit, and it's 2 members of Vibe Tribe going down. Lord Poseidon's going to find a triple kill in this engagement. Godzilla Frost is going to follow shortly behind, and that one's going to go to Dit Spit for Lube, and now, not wasting any time, is Lord Poseidon uses the ultimate to get to the mid lane as fast as possible. Throws down the root. Oh, auto attacks are swinging through, and it's going to take down the mid laner, and all 5 members of Vibe Tribe are down. This is your game to win, Mystic Sea Serpents, and they will win it.
Oh, just an intense back and forth. You know, it kind of just came down to that little focal tipping point of taking the fight against 5 with EFG, and you kind of just feel the effects of that hurt.
Absolutely. And what a long set this was. But very much, I think, worth the watch. This was a great showing between 2 very good teams within Walker. And as we open up the player damage charts, I gotta say, both Lord Poseidon, Godzilla Frost, both had such a presence in this game. 34K player damage, from Lord Poseidon, 15-0 and 9. What a scoreline from him. And I mean, we can't forget about the rest of the crew for the winning team here in the Mystic Sea Serpents. 3-3 and 9 scoreline for Tiny Giant. No one cares about your player damage when you're Guardian solo because he did a phenomenal job appealing for his backline. Mia did not put up the same performance in game 1 on the Ao Kuang, but still finds 10 assists and 17k player damage. I mean, the only thing I can point out here is Godzilla Frost really was doing the most for Vibe Tribe. 56,000 player damage. The only person on his team to break over 30. Izakor just barely there alongside Samurai on the 27k. But those two guys, I mean, player damage aside, Dipspit for Lube and Godzilla Frost are really the only two that put up crazy player damage numbers this game, and I think that's just akin to crit. What do you think?
I think it really is. I think it just came down to crit and those Medusa ults just connecting.
Yeah, I definitely can agree with that. But thank you to everyone who was watching. If you've been here since the start of this stream, it's been close to 6 hours going, I think. I mean, it's 12 o'clock here in Texas. It's midnight. I don't know about where the rest of you guys are at. 1 a.m. Eastern for sure. But it was a great night. And of course, thank you so much for joining me on the desk here and in the cast, Neptune. Also got to thank Pegasi and Lunar for the production today, and of course, got to thank Ruler of Men for the last set before this. But I think we're gonna all go ahead and close this one up and call it a night here. One more time, thank you everybody for joining us tonight, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.